so keep that in mind.
Yeah, hey, forget I asked.
That'll definitely
Ew.
do.
Ew. Join the Discord.
It was the least fun I've ever had playing this game.
A small but vibrant and extremely humble community.
No, I've seen the sleeves, but I'm like, you said you're suiting up, and then you put your sleeve on. Thank you for saying that.
Because I'm a demon on the keys.
Next thing I know, we're both dead. I immediately left the lobby.
In Vietnam.
What are they playing for? Are they playing to win?
Stay humble.
Stay humble.
We are live. Welcome to the Dropshot, episode number 42. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. I am joined for the first time by my good friend Locap. Locap, say hello to everyone.
Saw, dude.
And Locap, how do we know each other?
Actually, yeah, how did we meet? I mean, we met in SOTOR, but I don't know the circumstances around it.
Yeah, so for those of you who have been around a while and have some Dropshot lore, the first game I started streaming was a game called Star Wars: Old Republic. Locap played that game as well. Here's another piece of Razinon trivia. Locap purports to be my first ever sub on Twitch. I don't know if that's true, but he's definitely one of my first 10. This is like when Affiliate first came out, which is years ago. So I've known Locap forever. We played SWTOR, we did solos, we did fours, and then yeah, I've known him for forever, really, for a long ass time, at least 5 years. And we play COD together a lot. Some of you may know him as the X Factor. You're not going to recognize his face, but you will recognize his voice if you've been watching Tanner streams of us gaming. So Tanner, Jesus Christ, I was reading. Tanner is in Big Sur. I don't really know what that is. He just says it, and I just accept it. Supposedly, it's like some bullshit beach in California or something. Don't care where he is. But that is why he is absent today. So we are asking Locap to fill in his absence, and he's incredibly nervous. So just take it easy on him because you know, he's shy. He's a shy boy.
The incredibly large appearance fee helps my nerves.
Yeah. Well, hey, a lot of viewers and a lot more listeners are going to be coming to this, you stupid bitch. So anyway, yeah, Locap will be here for the episode. We are also going to be streaming some Warzone after this over on Locap's channel. I'm going to rate it in the same way that we normally do with Tanner's. We're going to try and get the dual cam set up, but we forgot to do it beforehand. It's very easy. Locap's a smart guy. You should be able to figure it out just fine. So, a couple announcements. As I was referencing earlier, this is going to be the thickest episode we've probably ever had. So Tanner picked just the worst conceivable time to not be here. But to be fair, he couldn't have known. I couldn't have known. We thought today was going to be pretty light. It's fucking not. First of all, we have the COD 2020 leaks that we've yet to go over. We're going to be hitting those toward the end. And I'm very anxious to talk about those. And then also, you know, this random mid-season 4 patch that just came through. A lot of weapon balancing and, you know, a lot of stealth changes, which is a huge shocker. So there's just a lot to talk about. So let me get some announcements out of the way, and we will get into it. But ladies and gentlemen, strap the fuck in, because this is going to be a long episode. It's just going to be. So figure it out. I don't know what to tell you. First of all, Pinchian gave me the fire offline sub like 1 minute before I went live tonight. So Pinchian, thank you very much, sir. I suspect I'm not saying your name right, but that's your fault. Change it. But thank you for the offline sub, sir. Very kind of you. Nicomas is also going fucking insane in the fucking membrane. Let's fucking go. A lot of gifty boys. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Motoon, I already forgot how to say your name. Change it. Mutiny. Yeah, that's your name now. Mutiny. Bowie49. It's Voodoo, Razinaner, Savvy Native. Welcome to this small but vibrant an extremely humble community. Nicomas, thank you so much again, dude. I really appreciate you, dude. Been around for a long time. The support does not go unnoticed. And in addition, Pritch, 2 months, tier 2 sub. This guy's getting crazy, dude. Pritch, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you as well, and we have some other things to talk about with respect to Mr. Pritch. But Pritch, thank you for the support, brother. Much appreciated. Much obliged. So, second thing I wanted to go over. The Discord link works. So if the Discord link is not working for you, you're fucking something up. People keep telling me this every fucking time we have an episode. On Wednesday and on Saturday, at least one idiot, right? Idiot tells me, hey, the Discord link isn't working. Yes, it is. I'm not resetting it because then I have to change the link on every fucking place that I have the link plastered right now. Not doing it because, once again, the link works. So if the link isn't working for you, let me know. I'll generate a new link just for you. But that is not to say that the current link doesn't work, because it absolutely does. So stop telling me it doesn't work. You can ask me for a different link in case this one doesn't work for you, but it does work. So figure it the fuck out. Today is also Canada Day. So shout out to my Canadians. Shout out to my favorite Canadian on planet Earth, Dr. Jordan B. Peterson. I also have his bust right there, which I showed off on Saturday. And then Tanner also wants to thank C. Bailey 14, the Scotsman, for the offline sub. And Bailey is here right now. So Bailey, later, take it easy, dude. Go to sleep. And Tanner thanks you, and I thank you on his behalf. That is very kind of you. So next, the Patreon is officially live. It's technically been live, but now is the first time that I would encourage people to sign up if they want to, because this Patreon month and every month following, all the benefits and shit that are listed there will in fact be coming. So the bonus episodes, the fucking gameplay submissions, suggestions, all that shit. Here's what the Patreon looks like. Gold, platinum, Damascus. You get a bunch of shit. Make sure that if you do sign up, no matter what tier you are, that you go to Discord and link your Patreon to your Discord account, because then you can get into these like special channels, because it's automated, and only if you have them linked in your Patreon, you'll get into the requisite channel. So that is officially live. 2 bonus episodes is the big thing. But there's other shit too. Patreon.com/thedropshot. One word to look into every other offering we have. And if you already are a patron, for those 2 of you, and maybe more by the time this episode comes out and you're listening, all the Discord channels are like live and ready to be molested. So you can put your gameplay clip breakdowns in now. You can start suggesting shit right away. Pritch already has, and I appreciate it. And it was a good idea, Pritch. We're going to hit your idea. So the Discord's like ready for you guys with respect to the Patreon shit. So last announcement, our usual Saturday episode is going to be rescheduled to Friday the 3rd, because Saturday is the 4th of July. And on the infinitesimal chance that I actually leave my house to do something, I want to have the date open, but more it's for you guys who have lives. Probably not, but if you do and you have plans on the 4th, fret not. We're going to be doing the pod on the 3rd, and so just don't miss it. It's still going to be at 7 o'clock, but it will be the 3rd. There will be no episode on the 4th. That will take place of our Saturday episode, and it's going to be a fucking interesting episode, by the way. I tweeted this. Twitter.com/Razinon. Follow me now. But we're trying something new, and we're trying like a formula that I want to continue to use in the future for this title and for other titles. It's a very fun idea in my opinion, and I'm curious what you guys are going to think. So that's going to be Friday, not Saturday. Next up is some of our favorite content on this stream. For those of you who have been listening, you already know this, but maybe you're new here, and I have to explain what's about to happen to you. If you rate the podcast 5 stars on iTunes, I will read whatever your review says. So you can write whatever the fuck you want. I mean, literally anything. If Apple will allow you to post a string of characters into its review section and the review is 5 stars, I'll read it. It's that simple. So without further ado, let's get into it. This one is by 802 Emon. The title of this review is, and by the way, Emon, you stupid cunt, I saw you on Twitter alluding to this. The title of this review is Unwritten, Clears Throat. That's a stage direction for me. I don't know how the song starts. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window. Reaching for something in the distance. I know the words, or I know the song, I just don't know it yet. So close you can almost taste it. Okay, here we go. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can. Dude, my singing voice is so bad. And this is sung by someone who identifies as female. So I actually can't even try singing this song. It like hurts my vocal cords. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. So sorry I couldn't sing that for you. Helena was at least sung by a male. So I could somewhat sing that a cappella, but this one I couldn't. But thanks for the analytics and for the tweet. That made me laugh pretty hard. Next one is by Pope Francis the First, or one, whatever. This one is called Cream Daddy. This review says, I am the Cream Daddy. When I play Warzone, I cream on the team, if you know what I mean. Anyways, you make my inside engineering job much more entertaining because AutoCAD and C3D, don't know what those are, can be quite monotonous at times. If you're not using the MP5, you'll get creamed on. Thanks, Cream Daddy. Okay. I like how the title of this review is Pope Francis, and it's called Cream Daddy, by the way.
That's a big K.
This is missing a no Epstein at the end. And if any review needed a no Epstein at the end, it is Pope Francis's review entitled Cream Daddy. So keep that in mind. For the 4th time, I don't know how to say your name. Mo Tooney. The title of his review is 5-star review. And the review says insert comment here. So change it. Thanks for the analytics. Much appreciated, brother. But yeah, you can get more creative than that, I guess. But doesn't matter. I like the 5 stars. Trenton Nisbet, Best COD Podcast. You're going to get doxxed, by the way, Trenton. Hey guys, love the show. Makes my week just a little bit better every time I see a new ep. I was hoping to get you guys to give your opinion or a little love to the Odin and PKM as Warzone guns. I personally love them and win on a regular basis with them. Also, I believe that trophy systems on vehicles is broken, or at least the amount of time they are active should be nerfed. Thoughts? Thanks for the great show. Lowcap, what is your opinion on the Odin and the PKM in Warzone? And or?
I've never used a PKM, so no opinion. But the Odin I have used, and I do enjoy it, but it falls off long range because you can't spam it. You have to tap it. And at that point, just use a sniper.
Interesting. Interesting. And then what about trophy systems?
They are a little strong, but I'm not really sure how you can nerf that. Because you can just stroll through somebody and run them over. I mean, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Trophy 4?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. So on the Odin and the PKM, the Odin's fucking trash because the fire rate is too... I swear to God it is. Because the fire rate is too low and Call of Duty has 12 hertz servers and they're unreliable 12 hertz servers and we're in the middle of a global pandemic. So everyone's node is overloaded anyway. So with a gun that fires 1 round per minute, I just don't trust it in a gunfight especially in Warzone, where once you're dead, you're dead. If you get a ghost bullet with like an MP7, it's fine, because 8 more bullets are going to come in the next nanosecond. But with the Odin, if you get a ghost bullet, you've just lost 30 seconds, and that damage, it disappeared. Or God forbid you start missing shots. Now, I don't have that problem, but some of you may. The Odin is just not, it's not reliable enough because the fire rate is so slow. So like, if you're landing all your shots, the Odin's really fucking good, for sure. But it's not consistent enough for me to rely on it in Warzone. PKM, however, is really good. But because it has a fast fire rate, it's got a lot of range, and it's good for destroying vehicles, which a sniper is not. So I see low cap's point, but I like to run LMGs often because you can just fucking destroy vehicles. Some kid's coming at you with their rover and they have a trophy on it, so you can't see for it. You just start pumping it with an LMG. You don't have to reload. It does a fuck ton of damage. And it's really good for that reason, or for choppers. But I think the Bruin's better than the PKM because the Bruin by default has way more accuracy without any attachments. So you need fewer pro attachments on the Bruin than you do on the PKM, which frees up more slots for better things like ADS speed and shit. So the trophy, I don't think it needs to be nerfed at all. Because as Lowcap said, if there was no trophy system, no one would drive. Because you're just dead if you see someone. Especially with all the RPGs and C4s and shit. So, nonetheless, thank you for the review, sir. This one's by Rez XN PP Poo Poo. Anyone can be a father, but it takes a very special someone to be a daddy. Okay, can I get a Razinon sus in the chat for that one? But thanks for the analytics. Have no idea what this is a reference to. But I appreciate the review. And then this one is long. The title of this review is So Keep That in Mind. The reviewer's name is Change It. That's cute. Casey, you stupid bitch. This podcast is so good, it tanked my work productivity. Tanner's relative calm is the only thing keeping me somewhat grounded anymore. And the angrier he gets at iDub and Activision, the closer I get to losing my job. Don't know why. Maybe Tanner getting angry makes him laugh. It makes me laugh too. That being said, devs, if you tick Tanner off again, it's not just your jobs on the line anymore, so keep that in mind. Let's get a Razinon mind. This guy really likes that. I'm trying to find the emote. I'm trying to get used to this thing, so chill out. Regardless, this pod finally made me download Twitch. As a formerly very casual console peasant, I had no real reason to watch streams. But between these two and their advice to watch streamers who will improve my game, I'm successfully destroying my sleep schedule so thoroughly that this is so rude, that it resembles Casey's love life. The good news is that Tanner's tips and tricks, which should be a segment of the podcast on its own. Okay. Also, that title deserves bonus points for the alliteration. Read a book. This is in 3 sets of closed parentheses. Don't do tri-parenthetical. It's pretentious. Read a book. Are not only resurrecting my KD ratio, but are also pilfering my free time. In conclusion, future listener beware, you stumbled on the best small but vibrant and extremely humble community that will destroy your productivity, possess your free time, and leave you trying to find Casey's OnlyFans just to see if the rumors are true. So keep that in mind. Well, change it. This review was amusing, actually. I normally read these before they're live, but I was kind of strapped for time. So that was my first reading of it. Well done. Thank you for the 5 stars. Very kind of you. Is Tanner going to get his own segment, though? Change it? Well, he can't even be here for the podcast. So what do you think? How about that?
True.
You stupid bitch. This next one's by Carlos. The title of this one is Burn. Small but vibrant. The name of Tanner's sex tape. Okay. Get shit on, Tanner. Thank you, Carlos. Much appreciated. And then last one, we can get into it. Manny Faces. Like many faces, but the name is Manny. This one is called The Best COD Podcast on iTunes. True. I couldn't find any podcast related to COD till now. So happy I did. Keep up the great work. Well, Manny, thank you, brother. That was a lot of reviews, so I appreciate that. And I will remind you at this juncture, once again, that if you, in fact, rate the podcast 5 fucking stars, you can write whatever you want, and I'll read it. It's that simple. Locap, any announcements from you?
None.
Okay. So if you were listening for the jingle, here it is, and we will get started. All right. So, as I said, this is going to be a long episode. We have a lot to cover. So we're going to start. So typically we start with playlist updates, but those in this case are rolled into the patch notes because it was one very big patch which changed the playlists and also obviously a lot of other things. So we're just going to dive right into those. As always, we are not going to be hitting every single one of these patch notes. You can fucking read them yourself, but we're going to just be hitting a couple of the important points, a couple of the key notes, and giving our analysis. And by the way, in case you were wondering, yes, some of these patch notes are, of course, fake news. Of course they are. Yeah. We'll get there, trust me. But
what a surprise, huh?
What a fucking surprise. So for now, here are the playlist updates. So first of all, Verdansk will now be able to hold up to 200 players. Jump into BR quads with 200 players. So I actually haven't played with 200 yet because we haven't played quads since the patch. We've been playing a lot of 3s though. Locap, have you been able to play 4s at all?
I tried it for a couple games last night.
How did it feel? Was the 200 very different than 150?
Well, I landed Superstar for both games, and it was as crazy as you would imagine.
So you just your whole squad immediately died, pretty much?
Oh yeah, there's 50 people there, and yeah, you get overrun and pray that you make it out, but you don't.
How far did you get in your farthest game?
Well, you die Superstar, and then you make it out, and then probably die later.
Yeah, but how much later? Like how?
We trio queued into quads, so it was.
Oh, I see.
It was not an ideal situation, yeah.
So you don't really have a sense for it then?
No.
Yeah.
I just wanted to land Superstar and see how many people are there.
Okay. Yeah. So unfortunately, I haven't played 4s yet either. We should have been able to play that by the time Friday comes around. We can give you guys our thoughts Friday. But my initial thought was that it's not going to be that much different after the first circle because everyone's going to die. And then it's going to look like the same toward the end. But with how many ways there are to respawn, someone made this point. I forget who it is. It's actually going to be fucking crazy, I think. Because people can respawn so often that I think adding an extra 50 players is going to be a lot more players at like every point in the game, which is going to be very interesting. I'm not sure how much I like that because I hate getting third-partied, obviously, and pinched. And I feel like this is going to give the advantage. I feel like it's going to almost be even more like luck-based. Like whoever happens to be in the building for the final circle is going to win. And I feel like that's going to be even more so the case now. But it's hard to say until I play a couple games of it. So we'll see. Next thing here that is interesting. Supply run contracts. Upon activation, you and your squad will be directed to a nearby buy station. Reach it within the time limit to get a discount on buy station purchases. Now, Locap and I do have some experience with the supply run contract. What are your thoughts?
Not a huge fan because it says nearby. It's not nearby.
Yeah.
And it's also kind of random.
Yeah. Yeah, nearby is fake news. So The supply run contracts fucking suck. Do not pick them up. Because if it picked the closest buy station, it would be great. But both times we tried this, they were probably the third or fourth closest buy station to us, which, spoiler alert, was fucking far away. So it's better to just pick up a real contract and do that. The supply run ones fucking suck. Say again?
Do you know how the discount works?
No, we don't. So unfortunately...
No, well, I've seen it.
Oh, okay. Tell us about it.
It's a fire sale discount. So
really?
Self-res and calling a teammate in is free, and everything else is 80%. But you can only buy one. It lasts for one purchase.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. That's good to know. So you could buy a teammate back for free. Yeah. I could see that being useful then if, like, 2 of you are dead and then 2 of you make it out of Gulag. You just go to a supply run and then you guys just get on a vehicle and just fucking send it and just hope you can get that free res. That's interesting. Okay. I kind of like supply run contracts more now.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. But just beware, they do not take you to the closest buy station. That is not how it works at all. Oh, okay. Fascinating. Wouldn't it be, you know what would have been really cool, Locap?
What?
If they included any of these details in the patch notes.
True.
That would be crazy. But of course, that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
so
it's never going to happen.
Well, that's why you listen to the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast. So next up, spotter scope. Basically, this spotter scope is a piece of equipment like a heartbeat sensor. So it's very similar to a heartbeat sensor. It doesn't get consumed. You can reuse it over and over. It's basically the precision airstrike binoculars, but obviously you don't get a precision out of it. And what's important about that is you can look around really far, but you won't have scope glint, obviously. Is it possible to select this in Create a Class?
No idea.
I actually haven't looked. I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I suspect that you cannot get this from Create a Class. So you have to pick it up off the ground. Pretty good, I guess. I mean, the good news is that, like, almost all the equipment is pretty useless in Warzone for the most part. So I don't feel like it would be a bad move to have one person in your squad run a spotter scope just to kind of look around, survey. So that's a cool addition, I think.
Well, I mean, just have one teammate have a sniper and you have the same thing.
Yeah, but that has glint.
Yeah, but so what?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Like, I don't see a situation in which the spotter scope, you're happy to see it.
I'm never happy to see it. That's true. That's true. But it could be useful sometimes. But so anyway, whatever. Not very impactful either way. There's also some details on how much data it's going to take. Don't care. They're so incompetent. It's amazing. But everyone has a patch by now, so that doesn't matter. Let's see. So regular ground war is back. Blueprint gunfight is back. So this replaces boots on the ground war. Team Defender is another new game mode. It fucking blows, I'll be honest. It's kind of like capture the flag, except you don't have to plant it anywhere. So basically, like, a flag spawns at mid, and then everyone gets points for killing opponents, but you also get bonus points if your team is holding the flag. And it never respawns. It never, like, makes you go anywhere. It's just always there's a flag on the map. And if you're holding it, you're getting points for your team and you're also marked on the map. I think it's pretty dog shit, honestly. Because when I've played it, it's like someone will get the flag and then they'll go into a corner of a room and their whole team will sit in there with 80 claymores, deployable covers, shotguns, and it's trophy systems. It's pretty fucking dumb. So avoid that, in my opinion. Cheshire Park 24/7 is a new map, and there's a playlist for it called Cheshire Park 24/7. Have you played this map at all, Locap?
I have not. I was going to ask, is it a new map or is it a cutout from Warzone?
It's surprisingly, great question. Surprisingly, it is a brand new map.
Really?
Yes.
Surprising indeed, yeah.
Super surprising. Some people were saying it gives them Hacienda vibes from Black Ops 4. Those people are wrong. It has almost no similarities with Hacienda. So it's basic. What's good about it is that it's a 3-lane map and it's pretty fucking small. I don't have any strong opinions on it yet. I haven't played it much, but it doesn't stand out to me right away. And usually really great maps do. So interesting. Shoot the ship 24/7. So that's shoot house and shipment. Gunfight tournaments. I totally forgot about those, but there's probably a weapon blueprint that is associated with winning that. So Tanner and I will have to get that this weekend. That should be exciting. So that's back in the game. Remember they said they were going to do gunfight tournaments regularly, by the way. That's a fucking for me. By the way. So anyway, that's back. Realism Mosh Pit is now in the quick play filter. And then that's it. So what else do we have here? Warzone. Oh boy. New gulag weapons, semi-auto rifles, snipers, along with one, quote, just fists and a throwing knife loadout. Low Cap, any thoughts on this decision?
I thought, you know, when I read it, I thought it was in addition to the old weapons, but apparently it's just the snipers and
Correct.
this new crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan. People just run to one side and hold down the scope and you walk into it because you want to be aggressive and win.
Yeah.
But that's the wrong play.
Yeah, absolutely. That is absolutely the wrong play. It's fucking awful. There is EBR, which is like somewhat normal, but everything else is fucking death. Car, Mark II, HDR in a fucking 5x5 cell. It's really dumb. I have advice for you. When you get the just fists and a throwing knife loadout, here's a pro tip. If you have a throwing knife as your lethal equipment, but you haven't thrown it yet, so you have at least one on you, every time you melee, your character will do a knife animation like MW 2. So it'll be a one-hit kill. So if you get the fist and a throwing knife loadout, ideally what you want to do, never throw your knife. Just juke these kids, bait them into throwing theirs, and now they have to punch you twice. You only have to punch them once and they die. That's the big brain play. That's why you listen to the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast. Don't throw the knife. It's not worth it. Just keep it on you so that your melee is a one-hit kill. Read a book. We also have... All right, Tanner. BR CODs 200. So that's which we alluded to. 3s, 2s, 1s. And then Plunder Blood Money is back. So now is where we're not going to go through everything, but if anything stood out to you, Low Cap, please let me know.
I was going to say, did they mention, I don't know if it's in the patch notes or not, but now you can find bags of $5,000 on the ground now, ground loot.
True. In Warzone, yeah. So I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's in the, obviously, I don't know if it's in the patch notes, probably not, but yes, you can find random $5,000 fucking bags of cash in Warzone now. I don't know how I feel about that or why they added it. Do you have any opinions on this?
No, yeah, it just seems completely random. Maybe for the 200 squads so you can buy a loadout faster.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Maybe. This is kind of interesting. Long shots now display the distance in the point feed. Kind of cool. It's a nice little addition. I've seen a couple of those.
It's a little quality of life thing.
Yeah, it's just a nice little quality of life. It'll be good for you Reddit shit posters. I got the longest quickscope with a 725 slug round. Cunt. You stupid cunt. Put your shotgun away. What else do we have here? We still don't know what this means. So I'm going to open the floor to the Dropshot community. Tell me what this means. Quote. This is how bad the patch notes are by Infinity Ward. Gas mask now cracks when you're taking damage near or in the circle. End quote. What does that mean?
Yeah, no clue. I looked for an answer earlier because I wanted to know, and still I couldn't find anything. I don't think anybody knows really.
Like, if you're in the circle, that means you're outside of the gas.
Right, yeah, you're safe, so
you're
I don't
safe,
know.
exactly. You're in the safe zone. So if I take damage inside the circle, according to these notes, my gas mask will crack. That makes no sense to me. Does this mean that if you take a bunch of damage and your gas mask is full durability, that you'll lose durability even though you didn't take gas damage?
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. Yeah,
That is
maybe
the
when you
only
get down,
logical
you take
explanation.
damage.
Yeah, that is the only explanation. So, anyways, I don't know if you guys know what the fuck that means, or if we're right about this. Please let me know. JN Salvador, hell yeah, dude! Thank you for that, Primarino brother. You love to see it. I'm honored, humbled, and privileged. You're just in time. We are just getting started. What else do we have here? So, the audio for the supply choppers is too loud, preventing.
Well, you skipped over one.
What?
The team wiped. It's a nice quality of life.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you did. Team wiped message now appears in the kill feed for your whole squad to see. So now I don't have to ask. Well, I do it anyway, but I don't have to ask, was that a wipe? Was that a wipe? Was that a wipe? Now I should see it on my screen. Another very actually good change. So good job for them. And this is in the game. We've confirmed that. So you can never be too sure. So what else do we have here? Now allow up to 3 precision airstrikes to be called in at once, but within a distance restriction. Now, we always get bugged precision airstrikes, and this ostensibly fixed that. But if I'm not mistaken, we had one last night. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
So
this is still not working.
Still not working. So this is in fact fake news, this patch note here. And don't worry, guys, there's more fake news in these patch notes. More egregious even than that. But if you thought the precision airstrike was fixed for Warzone, it's not. Settle the fuck down. So what else do we have here? This one's interesting. Stopping power is now applied to headshots. Only certain weapons can go from a 2-shot to a one-shot headshot, such as the FAL and the Odin. This fixes a few cases where headshots could sometimes do less damage than body shots when using stopping power. So this is a really dumb bug that was exposed by Exclusive Ace quite a while ago. It has been fixed. And beyond that, the FAL can do one-shots to the head without stopping power. We're going to get into that as well, though. So there were a couple ammo adjustments. I'm not going to read these exactly, but they increased the starting ammo and max ammo for a couple different types of ammunition. These are mostly alternate mags, but the Scar and Odin default mags, they did that as well. AX50 increased damage range. We're going to get into some more analytics with respect to the numbers on these weapon changes. So just going to give you the broad overview. We'll get into numbers. AX50 increased damage range. HDR, guaranteed one hit to lower torso at any range. That's interesting. We're going to get back to that. Car 98 increased ADS. Small decrease to hip spread, increased damage range. Mark II, increased damage range, faster speed. Dragunov, increased ADS, 2-hit kill. Minimum, I'm not sure if that's worded properly. Gun recoil returns to the center more, and then faster rate of fire. FAL added a close range damage shelf with 1-hit headshot potential. So as I said, we have more graphs and numbers to go into for all of these, but I want to stop here for the FAL. Have you used the FAL since this buff, Lowcap?
I did try out a few games last night in Warzone, yeah.
How'd you like it?
I liked it. It kind of falls into the same place a little bit with the Odin at the long range, where you would just want to tap, and at that point, just use a sniper. But medium and close range, it is very strong.
Yeah. Would you say it's like the best AR in Warzone?
I think it's competitive. I don't know if it's straight up the best.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so the thing about the FAL, added a close range damage shelf with 1-hit headshot potential. So if you're inside of like particularly close range and you're landing headshots, you're doing 100 damage, which is gross as fuck. It's really gross for multiplayer. I was watching Nate Gibson stream on patch day on the new map, Cheshire Park. He was one-tapping kids in the head like nothing, dude. Really fucking strong. And in Warzone, if it does 100 damage to the head, you can down a fully armored opponent in 3 headshots, which is kind of fucking insane. Because when you think of how fast the FAL fire rate is, that's like the fastest TTK of every gun except a sniper headshot or like a shotgun, like a 7.25 at point blank range or something. It's really fucking good. But even if you're not landing headshots, it still kills really quickly anyway. So I think it remains to be seen whether or not this takes the place of the dominant AR in Warzone. But I was using it last night and it fucking slaps, dude. It's really fun and it's really, 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 really strong. And you can configure it to be pretty fucking good for Warzone. Yeah. It is harder to use at those longer ranges than an automatic because it's just harder to use any gun semi-auto while tracking. And that gets even harder at really long range where you have to be more precise. But I think it's worth the trade-off because at typical AR distance, if you can get used to semi-auto, it's perfectly fine. And it kills so fast, dude. So fast that it's really good. The only thing that I would say it is, even if you're as comfortable with semi-auto as you are with full auto, the only downside of the FAL is that it's not going to be as effective at destroying vehicles. So if there's like a chopper flying overhead and your whole team wants to shoot it, you'd rather have a full auto pretty much anything than a FAL. Because you only have 30 FAL bullets. You're just not going to be able to like spam damage into something fucking huge as quickly. And your magazine isn't as big even if you could. So that's like the only downside I see. So, but anyway, very interesting change there. I fucking love it though. I'm a huge fan of it. AK got increased ADS speed. The Galil got decreased damage range. Any thoughts on this, Locap?
Bizarre change. I think it was made for multiplayer. Maybe their analytics thought it was a little too strong in multiplayer, but I don't know. It's weird. Totally
unnecessary for Warzone, certainly. I never see it in Warzone, and I seldom see it in multiplayer either. I don't think this was necessary. And in my opinion, this was like the only strength of the Galil, the CR56 AMAX. So I think the fact that they decreased the damage range just means there's virtually no reason to use it now, sadly. So next up, get your salt shakers out. MP5. Decreased damage range for the MP5. Okay. Okay. Decreased 10mm damage range. Okay, interesting. Reduced long range damage to 10mm ammo. Okay. Slight recoil increase to 10mm ammo. Now that salt shaker I told you to grab, guys. Go ahead and take out 3 grains of salt and take them now with those patch notes. We have some analytics for you. Most of that is fake news. It's worse than fake news, in fact. So next up, Growl 556. This is what everyone's been clamoring for. Damage range reduction, slight increase to high frequency recoil, reduced recoil compensation, and decreased range on the Archangel and the Nexus barrels. So I'm going to wait to talk about this one until we get into the graphs, but I think these are good changes. That's my preemption. Shotgun slugs got buffed for the most part. Don't use shotguns, not reading these. And then lastly, I want to talk about this. No stock attachment. Increased weapon recoil, and then decreased ADS aiming steadiness. So in other words, more recoil, and also more idle sway when you're ADSing, but not actually shooting anything. Did you ever use no stock? And if so, or if not, how do you feel about this this change, Locap?
I use it in multiplayer, but not in Warzone, no.
Okay.
And it's fine, I think, yeah. You should have more recoil if you're going to be running around faster. It's a trade-off.
It is a trade-off. It is a trade-off. You might change your mind when you see the recoil pattern, which I'm going to show everyone soon. The only thing I don't like about this, I always thought no stock was a little too strong, but they made it super fucking weak. super fucking weak. Now,
Yeah. I've seen the recall, like for the MP5, for example, and they
dude,
went a little overboard. Yeah,
they
on
went
that
way
one, yeah.
overboard. And this is just another example of Infinity Ward making this game harder and harder and harder to run and gun. What does that incentivize? Not moving. What does that incentivize? Camping. Who is that helpful to? New frogs. Ostensibly. So this is one other example of the many reasons they are, or many ways in which they are totally fucking over, you know, their core player base. So next up here is Spec Ops and Spec Ops Survival. And if you expected us to read this, you can go fuck yourself. And if you wanted Spec Ops patch notes to ever be read to you, then you're not going to get it here, and unsubscribe from this podcast. It's that simple. So that is about it for that. Now, we have some graphics for you. So here's where we're going to be showing all the analytics about all those weapon changes. Some of them I like, a lot of them I don't. But nonetheless, we're going to get into it right the fuck now. But first, Silvo for the 250 biddies. Let's fucking go. Let me catch up on chat a little bit here. Jay Decker, what's up, dude?
Right.
Welcome,
I'm using the
brother.
restroom real quick then.
Okay, go for it. JN Salvador, you guys are dope, man. Hey, thanks, dude. Much appreciated, bro. I'm happy you can make it here live, brother. Much obliged. Claptimus, the gas mask means it makes the bullshit animation and nothing changed. I suspect, honestly, that nothing changed, Claptimus, to be honest. But I don't even know what those patch notes were supposed to mean. It's very interesting to me. The FAL's so great, been using it all day. Yeah, the FAL fucking bangs, Silvo. I've been really enjoying it. I've been really enjoying it. So, what else do we have here? What else do we have? Team Defender is oddball of Halo 3. True, Pritch. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. It was better in Halo, though, because you couldn't camp in Halo. There were no claymores in Halo. There were no trophy systems in Halo. There were no bouncing betties. There were no deployable covers. There were shotguns and swords, sure, and gravity hammers in H3. But it was still much harder to camp in that game. So Oddball actually made more sense. What else do we have here? Ethereal, welcome. Thanks for the gifted sub. Hell yeah, dude. So, all right. Hold on one second. All right. So, on screen here, Silvo, thank you again for the 250 biddies, dude. I appreciate it. Here's the AX50. And these images, by the way, are all courtesy of exclusive Ace. We talk about him on almost every episode of the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast. You should go subscribe to his YouTube channel. He did a very long video on all this stuff that goes into a lot more detail than I'm going to go into now. But I just wanted to show you some graphics from that video to give you guys like a rough overview. So if you're listening, you're not going to be able to see this, obviously. Go to Exclusive Ace's YouTube and check it out there. He did a video. It's like 17 minutes long on this patch. And it's good stuff. But here we see the AX50. It used to be a one-shot kill to 75 meters. Now it's to 100. Do you ever snipe in Warzone, Locap?
I do not.
Okay. So yeah, I seldom do either, but I always use the HDR anyway because the damage drop off of the AX50 pissed me off. But now it's 100 meters for 100 damage. So it's not exactly relevant for Warzone necessarily. I mean, it's relevant. Not really, honestly. I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless
it's
they
like
have no
ground
armor.
war, Warzone, maybe.
Yeah. So anyway, the HDR is always a one-shot kill to the torso now. This is important if you play like ground war on Tovorsk and you're using an HDR, because if you've ever done that and you shot on top of one building to like the other side of the map to the other building, you'll notice you get tags with the HDR all the time. Now that'll never happen. So if you're a ground war gamer and you like Tovorsk and you like sniping on top of buildings, you should stop using an AX50 and switch to an HDR, because now at any range, If you get a lower torso or above shot with the HDR, you will get a one-shot kill. It doesn't matter what range. So use the HDR if you're doing that. That is why I included this here. Car 98 got a buff to the ADS speed, as I said, of 67 milliseconds. The car is still going to be shit. So it got a little buff, but it's not good now. It didn't get good. So let's relax. And then here's the hip fire spread of it. It is a tighter hip fire than all the other marksman rifles. Again, it's not good, so it doesn't really matter. And then it got its damage range changed. This actually is kind of interesting. It went from a one-shot kill in multiplayer to about 52 meters to about, I don't know, 60? 65 meters? So that's actually a pretty decent buff. Actually, I kind of take it back. So the car got a pretty decent buff. Still not worth using. Don't get me wrong. Maybe it is, though, in multiplayer. That's a lot of buffs. I didn't realize that. So, Mark II carbine, you move exactly 1% faster. Okay. And then it is also a one-shot kill for an extra probably 5 meters. So that's a small buff, but it's needed. The Mark II was fucking garbage. Still probably not good, but it is better now. So that's nice. Dragunov ADS speed from 534 to 484 milliseconds. That is 50 milliseconds, which is a little less than 10% from the former value. Pretty good. Pretty decent. RPM from 174 to 208. Again, pretty good. But the Dragunov is by no means going to be that great. The recoil pattern, by the way, ostensibly changed. In practice, doesn't make much of a difference at all. So say what you will about that. Now the FAL, the star of the show here. Pre-patch, it took 2 shots to kill to the torso up to about 42 meters. And it still does. However, from 0 to like, what is that? 15 meters? 20?
18.
18 meters? From 0 to 18 meters, the FAL is a one-shot headshot. Now, in the notes, they say close damage range shelf. Now, I don't know about you, low cap. 18 meters isn't very close range to me. That's relatively far. Right?
For a one-shot, yeah, that's a good range.
For a one-shot headshot, that's pretty disgusting. And by the way, the graph that Ace uses here, this is 2 scale. So if you're standing here on Grozny Raid, you can one-shot headshot someone that is this far away. That is 2 scale. So that is a pretty far range in multiplayer to be able to kill someone with a one-shot headshot. For a gun that has an RPM that is very high, by the way. So pretty big buff there. And its upper torso damage also got massively increased. It used to be 54 to 40. So 54 within probably, what, 40 meters? And then 40 outside of it? And now there's a third damage range? 78, 54, 40. Interesting. Fucking interesting. I wonder where that 78 drops off. It might be the same one-shot headshot range. So maybe if you get an upper torso shot within 18 meters, your FAL does 78 damage. Now, in multiplayer, that basically doesn't matter. But in Warzone, that matters massively. Because the difference between 54 and 78 is the difference between, quick maths, 2 shots? Something like that? At least 1 shot. 1 to 3 shots less. That's fucking big for a fully armored opponent. So that doesn't even require you to land headshots. I think this is the bigger buff than anything. By the way, was this in the patch notes?
No.
Absolutely fucking not. They just added a new damage range to the upper torso for the FAL and didn't mention it. So thank God for exclusive Ace. Give him a shout
that
out.
Chart is, it says it's 3 shots to kill there, but mathematically, wouldn't 3 shots at 78 be, what, 234? So it's a 4-shot kill in Warzone. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I was like.
This is
This is so
multiplayer.
bizarre.
Yeah, yeah.
But even then, like in Warzone, 4 shots that's so easy to do. It's very strong.
Well, this is upper torso within 18 meters. That's pretty close. Yeah. It is still easy to do, though. That's why it's so insane. That's why this buff is so insane. The adding of the one-shot headshot damage shelf is a big buff, for sure. But the bigger change, undoubtedly, is this new additional upper torso damage that they didn't mention. That's why everyone's going to be seeing this in Warzone a lot and why it's going to be so fucking disgusting. I love the FAL now. I've always loved it, but I especially love it now. And I cannot wait to try it again this evening. Patch your game, by the way, low cap. There was a new patch.
Okay. It's especially strong in Warzone because it's ground loot. You can get it right away. And it's just, you just decimate with them right off the bat.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. And there's a lot of fouls on the ground, by the way. The Cloudy, what's up, dude? Thank you for the 10 biddies. Hell yeah, brother. Call me daddy. I'll keep that in mind. So yeah, the foul's fucking gross now. And if none of you are using it, I strongly recommend it. It's better than it used to be in multiplayer, but not by much because you're not going to notice unless you land a headshot within 18 meters. But for Warzone, you will absolutely notice this buff. So it's going to be a lot more, it got a lot better for Warzone than it did for multiplayer. So keep that in mind. The AK ADS speed went from 300 millis to 267. AK is still complete fucking garbage, so this doesn't matter at all. It does need this a lot, but it also needs its recoil to be toned down substantially. But it's still going to be not good at all. And then here you can see the Galil nerf. It didn't lose much range, to be honest with you. It lost, what is this? Probably 5 meters of range for upper torso. So I don't know. It didn't need a nerf at all, but as far as nerfs go, this is very mild. So, you know, whatever. I'm fine with it. Now, the MP5. Now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of this episode. Let me take a fat fucking rip. Okay. So, this is for 9mm rounds. MP5 right here. Now, pre-patch, we had 12.5 meter 3-shot kill range. That has been nerfed to about 9 meters. And then that is across the board. So every damage range got nerfed by roughly 3 to 4 meters, I would say. So it's going to take one more bullet if you're at the edge of your range for all of these for 9mm. So that's a pretty decent nerf to the 9mm. And I think this is a roughly appropriate nerf. It's actually going to impact it in multiplayer and in Warzone. You're going to notice the MP5 is just not quite as versatile anymore. Because a lot of times when I use an SMG, especially in, really exclusively, in Warzone when I use an SMG, I often rely on it in ranges that are way farther than I would typically use an SMG, just because I don't want to reload. So my AR's out of ammo and I'm getting pushed, or I want to push some guy, I'll just switch to my SMG and shoot them at 30 meters. Because I just want to get the kill. So then damage range matters a lot. And in that case, for the MP5, at 30 meters, that wouldn't really matter. But at 25 meters or at 28 meters, it would matter a lot. Because now I'm going to need an extra shot to kill. I'm doing a lot less damage at that range. So it's a decent nerf, but I think it's still a very good gun. Arguably still the best gun in the game. Do you think that MP5 is still the best gun for Warzone? Sub for Warzone?
I don't know the numbers on the Vector, but I think this nerf did help the Vector a bit. So now it's at least competitive. Because I do notice the damage nerf on the MP5. I noticed it in Ground War and in Warzone.
Interesting. You noticed it in Ground War.
Yeah.
If it's the case that a Vector is a 3-shot kill up to 12.5 meters. And the MP5 is no longer. Now it's a 4-shot kill. That would mean the Vector is the best SMG when you're inside someone's ass.
Right, yeah.
Which is interesting. Which is very interesting. I'd have to look up the numbers on that, but that is a very good
thing,
point.
I don't know the exact numbers, but the Vector also has the downside where the servers are such low tick rate and the Vector fires so fast that so many shots just don't register.
A lot of ghost bullets, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big downside of the Vector, unfortunately.
I didn't even think about that, but that makes total sense. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's the 9mm. So the patch notes were accurate here. 9mm damage range got nerfed. Here's where the fake news comes in. Oh, wait. Yeah, here we go. Wait, what? No, I guess not. Interesting. Am I misinterpreting this? Low cap? Are you understanding this graph here?
Wait, do you have the same graph twice?
No. You see 10mm pre and post?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, maybe I misunderstood. So the 10mm rounds did also get nerfed from needing...
Right. Nerf, yeah.
A 3-shot kill to 12.5, and then post, it's now a 4-shot kill at 12.5 meters. So it got the same damage range nerf as the 9mm bullets did.
Right.
But at long range, so 25 meters on, it actually went from 21 damage to 22 damage per shot. So the 10mm rounds, when you are outside of 25 meters, actually does more damage now than it used to before it got quote-unquote nerfed. Now, this is hilarious because it's literally the opposite of what the patch notes say, and Infinity Ward is massively incompetent. However, 2 points that are important to make. Number one, the 10mm rounds have sucked for a while now, and they're not worth using anyway. So this doesn't exactly matter. And number two, even if the 10mm rounds were the meta, getting 1 extra point of damage exclusively from 25 meters and beyond is not very impactful anyway. So it didn't really get buffed in practice, but let this be a testament to the incompetence of Infinity Ward once again. As we have said countless times now on the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast, Infinity Ward is wildly incompetent, and it is completely baffling to me. They make $3 million a day on microtransactions, but they have never released a patch with accurate patch notes. Never. Think of that. $3 million per day. Per day! And they can't hire a quality assurance team to write correct patch notes. Not only are they sometimes wrong, but every single patch, their notes are wrong. Every single one. So this is not a big blunder in terms of like impactfulness on the game, but it is just, again, goes to show you Infinity Ward is shit. They're shit. So keep that in mind. 10mm is a buff to its long damage values. And then they also said the recoil got nerfed. So class, if you could draw your attention to the screen here. If you're listening, I will describe this to you, but first I'm going to let for everyone watching to take a look at this little chart here. On the left, we have the pre-patch recoil pattern. And on the right, we have the post-patch, which is the nerf to the recoil to make the recoil worse. We have that pattern on the right. Now, look out, for those of us who may be listening, can you describe what changed with this recoil pattern? Did it actually get worse recoil after the patch?
No, it actually got better.
Better. So not only did it not change, but now the recoil is better than it used to be. which is literally the negation of the patch note. It is the exact opposite. They said they made it have more recoil. Not only did they not change it, but they actually made the recoil better, which is the opposite of what they said. And it's, by the way, if you're just listening, it's a lot better. It's not a little better of a recoil pattern. It's a lot tighter now. Like a lot tighter. It's going to be way easier to control the 10 mil rounds. So the recoil actually got buffed for the 10 mil rounds for the MP5, which is fucking hilarious. I don't think this is going to make 10 mil usable, but this is actually unironically an argument to go back to 10 mil rounds because of how much they actually buffed the recoil pattern. Do you think that that is an argument to make? That the recoil is so much better now that it's actually worth considering over the 9 mil rounds?
It's possible, yeah. I'd have to see a straight up comparison, but when I saw the patch notes, I was like, man, they really missed the mark, because who's using 10 mil right now?
Exactly.
But apparently it is using like competitive COD CDL.
Oh, is it still?
I don't know. Yeah, apparently it is, and it's strong there. I don't know for sure. That's what I read.
Interesting.
So it might be a nerf for them, really, but it's actually not a nerf. So go figure.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, yeah, it does look great, Squatch. It's a fucking joke. It's a joke. Infinity Ward's a joke. So yes, as you can see, that got fucking buffed, which is a nightmare. A nightmare. So that is the fake news that we know of so far. But if you guys have not used the 10 mil rounds in a while, I would actually suggest you try it and see how the recoil treats you and see if it's maybe worth using again. Because it actually might be. Like, this looks a lot tighter to me. So,
yeah. Slap a commando instead of a merc and it'll look really good.
Yeah, true. Exactly. And you rarely will dump your... Anyway, whatever. Fucking insane. So, next up, we have the Growl graphic here. The Growl base damage got nerfed. It used to be a 4-shot kill up to probably 30 meters, 32 meters. Now it is only up to... I don't know. I want to say this is like a 4-meter loss. So this is 37. Yeah. This is 25. So it used to be able to 4-shot kill up to roughly 34 meters. Now it is only up to roughly like 30, I would say. So a bit of a damage nerf there. Here we have the shots to kill with the barrels as well. And here's what's important to take note. For those of you who can see, look at the graph. For those of you who are listening, the Nexus barrel and the Archangel barrel are the two long barrels. These were the ones that were used in Warzone. Archangel's the longest and the most popular. So before the patch, Nexus increased your damage range by 40%. Now it only does so by 33%. And the Archangel used to be 45%. And now it only increases your damage range by 40%. So these barrels did get nerfed. And they did, in my view, get nerfed roughly appropriately. How do you feel about these nerfs, Locap, to the Growl? Because you've used it since then, right?
I feel like that's basically all I use still, honestly, except for trying out the FAL. But it's weird that they hit the Nexus harder than the Archangel, because I feel like the Archangel is way more popular.
I agree with you. That is kind of strange. But do you think they went overboard, underboard, just right?
No, I think this is fair. This is just right.
I agree. One thing that I've always given Infinity Ward credit for with this game is that in general, their weapon nerfs have been really good. They've very seldom gutted a gun that was OP. They step it back very incrementally, and I think this is a perfect first step to take for the Growl. It's certainly still very good in Warzone. It was never like the best gun in multiplayer, but it's still good in multiplayer, and it's still very good in Warzone too. It's just not quite as good. So this will hopefully allow for a new meta, or at least an altered meta, to emerge. I'm not willing to say yet that the FAL is now the best gun in Warzone.
No,
I think it's
not yet.
I think it's hard to make that argument, especially because it's semi-auto. And that just has difficulties that full auto doesn't have.
Yeah, exactly. Especially at long ranges, because a lot of engagements, you know, they're running in the field. You need that accuracy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so hard to track and use something semi-auto at the same time. So it's hard to say, but I like it. Like the meta is going to be more interesting, hopefully, in the future. So we'll see what happens. So let's see. And then lastly, yeah, the ground damage at mid-range got changed from 23 to 22. That means it is going to take an extra 1 bullet to kill someone if they have 2 to 3 plates. But importantly, this doesn't change anything at all for multiplayer. So if your total health is 100, whether the damage is 23 or 22 per shot, you're still only going to need 5 bullets to kill. But if you have 2 to 3 plates, now suddenly you need an extra bullet. That is the perfect way to balance a gun for Warzone without fucking it in multiplayer. That's exactly what they've done here. Really smart. Really good weapon nerfs. It's amazing to me that they can be this sophisticated and nuanced in one aspect of the game and then completely shit the bed in all these other ones. Very strange, but nonetheless, I think a great change to the Grau. So,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I tried it in Ground War first, and I didn't notice anything at all. I was like, really? They didn't do anything? And then, but I do feel it in Warzone.
Yeah. Which I think is good, because it's not really overpowered in multiplayer. It's only overpowered in Warzone, or was, so.
Yeah, it's a good change.
Yeah, for sure.
Surprisingly fair.
Surprisingly fair, exactly. Maybe that's the title of this episode. Okay, so base Grau, you guys can see the recoil. They said they changed it. What are your thoughts on this pre and post patch recoil pattern we're looking at, Locap?
Minimally changed it.
Minimally, if at all. I feel like they added a little more horizontal recoil. So if you still want to use the Grau, slap on a Commando foregrip, you should be pretty much fine. I used the Commando anyway, but they added a little bit more horizontal recoil is what it looks like, but not much. And then here it is with the Nexus barrel. Again, it looks very similar, except there's a little more horizontal kick, a tiny bit more. And then for the Archangel, it looks like it's actually got less recoil now than it did pre-patch. It's not as egregious as the 10 mil MP5 rounds. It didn't get buffed that hard, but nonetheless, I think it did get buffed a little bit. Am I crazy, or are you seeing that too, Logan?
No, it looks like right around the mid mag, around 15 mags, it looks tighter post patch.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Right here, and it just like stays tighter. Yeah. So it didn't actually get nerfed its recoil, at least if you're using the Archangel. By the way, spoiler alert: if you were playing Warzone, you should always be using the Archangel anyway. So keep that in mind. And then what else do we have here? And then on the slug rounds, we have a graph for you here. The slug rounds just got their damage range massively buffed. Before and after. It's like each slug round for each shotgun now has double the one-shot kill range than it used to. Slug rounds are so bad that I'm fine with this. So whatever. It's still not worth using slug rounds, so it almost doesn't matter what they change. That's my opinion. But here's the graph. And then let's see. Here's the no stock. So when we were talking about gutting no stock, if you are watching the video, you can see why. By the way, these are all, again, images from Exclusive Ace's video on this. If you're listening to this, if you don't have access to a computer and you want to see all these graphs, go to Exclusive Ace's YouTube and watch his video. This is where I got them all from. He shows you there, and he gives you a very good detailed explanation. But we're looking at the M4 with no attachments, and then with the no stock attachment. And you can see with the no stock attachment, how much more recoil does it have now, Locap?
It's like, I almost want to say double. It's actually so much.
It's a disgusting amount more recoil. Yeah. It's a disgusting amount more recoil. So if you were using no stock, you should stop, because it's fucking disgusting. Here's the MP5 with the collapsible stock. He spelled collapsible wrong, by the way. The recoil for the MP5 with the collapsible stock when it is compared to no stock at all, to no attachments at all, it's triple. Like, it's disgusting.
Yeah. That one, it looks like a sick joke. That's ridiculous.
It's outrageous.
It's so bizarre. Just like, yeah, wow.
So even if you can't see the fucking graphs right now and you're listening, take my word for it. Stop using no stock ever on anything for any reason ever. The only reason you should ever use a no stock attachment now is if you're going to use a gun that you will literally never aim down sights on. And some people do that. So if you're playing shipment and you use like a Bizon with a Merc foregrip and a 5 milliwatt laser, and you just never plan on ADSing, sure, use a no stock. Bizon doesn't have a no stock attachment. Bad example. But otherwise, if you ever plan on aiming down sights, never use a no stock, never use a collapsible stock ever again.
Yeah. Or hey, if you want to simulate playing CSGO, you can start shooting at their feet and they'll rise up to their head with this stock on.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll experience what recoil is if you use this fucking stock for the first time. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Okay, so real quick, mullet proof bunk with the 100 biddies. Let's fucking go. Mullet proof. Welcome, sir. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the 100 biddies, dude. I appreciate it. What else do we have here? Squatch says, gonna put the MP5 back in the loadout, baby. Yeah, do it with the 10 mil rounds though, because then you get a fat recoil fucking buff. I'm so surprised I like low cap on this, says Pritch. Need a Tanner low cap? Will need a Tanner low cap combo to see what's best, lol. Okay, Pritch. Hey, Pritch.
Agreed.
Hey, Pritch. Be careful what you wish for, you stupid bitch. Be careful what you wish for. We could do that. I could give Tanner my stream key and then he could do it. I won't, but I could. But keep that in mind. Oh, okay. And then the last point that I wanted to go over that is a stealth change, kind of. Burst M4s were not only never removed like they said they did like 2 weeks ago, but they still haven't removed them with this new patch, and they are still, in fact, in the game. Now, Lowcap had a theory on this that I want him to share with the class. So, Lowcap, what is your theory on this?
I remember reading that they were going to remove the rare and common version. And from what I've seen, that's true. I've only picked up green ones, which I believe are uncommon.
Okay. So, yes, Lowcap informed me of this last night. I don't remember reading that patch note. That was that specific. So drunk. But it's possible. But hey, also take out all the burst M4s. That is my my thought here. Yeah, for sure. So
it doesn't matter what rarity, I'd rather have a pistol.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. 1000% agreed. 1000% agreed. So Theos, Warlike, change it. Welcome, dude. First time live. You love to see it. So anyways, that is it for patch notes, as far as I know. Now, trust me, next week on Wednesday, there will be stealth changes to cover. I guarantee it. There's no way with a patch this big that they didn't stealth change other things. So make sure you stick around and you're listening Wednesday, and we will keep you apprised on anything that changed that was not, in fact, in the patch notes. There were certainly other things than the things we went over today that no one has found yet. And also, once again, I encourage you, if you want to see all these graphs that we've been talking about, or if you just want to get a more in-depth breakdown of the weapon changes that we went over, go to Exclusive Ace's channel on YouTube, watch his video, an excellent video. I love that guy. He's a great resource. And you should subscribe to him on, what's it called? YouTube. So keep that in mind. Yeah. On everything. True. Kuyan says, I found a rare one more than an hour ago. Well, there you go, Kuyan. This game is shit. It's a shit game.
It doesn't matter what they say, yeah.
It actually doesn't matter. We just have Exclusive Ace is the official patch notes provider for Infinity Ward. How about that? So if you want real patch notes, subscribe to him. It's that simple. Claptimus with the Gifty Boy. Let's fucking go. Faust Warlike, welcome to this small but vibrant and extremely humble community. And Claptimus, as always, thank you so much for your continued support, young man. It is much fucking appreciated, sir. So that is it once again for the patch changes. So now we have a couple news items to go over. I wanted to save this for the end of the pod, but LoCap has a weak constitution. So we're going to put this at the top, and then I'll go through a couple other things on my own, and then we're going to get some games in. So hang in there, boys. This is what a lot of you have been excited to hear from me and from Tanner.
Mostly me.
Not mostly, low keepo. For like a week now. Because this came out before Saturday, but we didn't cover it on Saturday, but we're covering it today. And I will give you my opinion, LoCap's opinion. Obviously will come from LoCap. And then I will also give you Tanner's opinion because I've talked to him about this. And I am liable to give you guys his views. We largely agree, so it's not going to be much different. But nonetheless, new details on COD 2020 reportedly leaked. Modes, features, and more. You'll love to see it. So COD 2020 has not been announced yet. This is the latest a COD game has ever been announced in the history of the franchise. You can bet your bottom dollar that's because of COVID-19, among civil unrest and looming civil war in the United States, where Call of Duty is developed and published. But nonetheless, we do at least have some leaks. Now, none of these are technically confirmed, but I tend to believe them, particularly because of the content that they espouse. And we are going to give you the details, and we are going to give you our assessment on those details. So this, once again, these leaks came originally from an Exclusive Ace video on YouTube. He got DMCA'd by Activision, which is another piece of evidence to the fact that these leaks are probably true, or at least are in large part true, because if they were all bullshit, fake news, Activision wouldn't have, you know, given him a copyright strike. So,
right, yeah. At least some of it is true.
Probably most of it, yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, that could not be the case, and the leaker could be mistaken, or they could add or change something before launch, but nonetheless, this is a good thing to go off of. Here are a couple of key takeaways, and we're going to hit each of these because I'm very excited to share all of this with you. Number one, 2020 game is in fact set during the Cold War era. Okay, that's fine. We're not actually hitting that. The game is, quote, actually in a good state with, quote, multiplayer maps almost done. Very interesting. Campaign is fully playable, but not all animations are complete yet. This is what I want to talk about first. He says there will be a new map for Warzone with the 2020 game, and says he has seen an overview of the new Warzone map. Now, LoCap, I don't know if you've been following along with the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast, but we've been getting conflicting reports. One thing is said Blackout's coming back. Another thing is that Warzone is going to continue past this year into the next game. Given that there's going to be a new map, do you think it will take place on the existing application that is on your hard drive right now? So you launch Modern Warfare 2019 and then go into Warzone? Do you think that's going to continue to be the case for this new map, for this new game? Or do you think it's going to be an entirely separate executable file, if that makes sense?
I think it'd be separate because it's going to be a whole new map, and you skipped over the Cold War era, but that means it's completely different guns. Gunplay is going to be completely different. It's like a whole new game. They might as well call it Blackout 2. I can't even, like, what mechanic would transfer over from Warzone?
That's such a good point. That's actually like, such a good point.
It's so weird. It's just going to be a brand new game.
That is such a good point. Yeah, this is what has been pissing me off about all of these leaks, is that we went over this on the podcast. There was this interview with some developers from Call of Duty. I don't remember exactly in what way they were associated. that were saying that they want to continue supporting Warzone in the future. So maybe the best theory is, in fact, that they're going to continue to support Warzone, but they're also going to release a new BR alongside it, and they're going to support both. Does that make sense?
I think it's a bad business decision.
I do too. I do too.
The only thing
exactly.
I think of is
exactly.
like maybe they do it like PUBG has multiple maps, so maybe they launch it within the Warzone client and it's a separate queue. Like you can choose one map over the other. But that also just be a little weird. Why not just Blackout 2?
I agree. Yeah. So interesting, dude. So interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But you're so right about, of course it's not going to be the same engine. I don't know, dude. It's interesting. This leaves me more questions than answers.
It's going to be completely different. New perks, different balance perks,
yeah,
guns, attachments. It's going to be a brand new game.
Yeah. So I feel like it wouldn't make sense to stay on this executable. So I guess the main thing the only thing we could think is that they're going to continue supporting Warzone like they just said. And they're going to release a new BR alongside it, which, like you said, is the worst business decision ever.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Yeah, because they said it's a new map with new locations, which is, I mean, how long do Call of Duty last? A year? And then everyone's on the new one?
Yeah.
No one's going to care about Warzone when they got Blackout 2, essentially, you know?
True. Exactly. No one's going to fucking care. No one's going to care.
It's such a bizarre decision.
Really dumb, but interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so next up here, standard minimap is back, similar to previous Call of Duty games prior to Modern Warfare. Now, before I address this, Locav, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, it's good. Maybe I'll actually use it now. I'll look up in the top left.
Did you care that it got reverted for this game?
I don't play too much multiplayer, so it's not like a massive thing to me. I noticed it, and I wasn't a fan. Okay. But I wasn't super upset.
Okay. This is the one thing that got me so fucking excited when I was watching Exclusive Ace's video. Because this is one of those things that I talked about where when we were prognosticating about COD 2020 and how they might not bring the minimap back, this is evidence to the contrary. And if they do bring back the standard fucking minimap, that introduces a whole new level, a whole new layer of complexity and skill, and it again increases the skill gap. And that is fucking fantastic. Fantastic, dude. I'm really happy to see this. And I think it is, I'm so thrilled about it. It just can't be overstated how excited I am about the standard minimap coming back. When this game first launched, this was my biggest single problem with the entire game. In fact, if you go to my YouTube channel, which I've conveniently linked for you in the chat, you can find a beta review series on Modern Warfare. And the worst thing at the very end of the last video in that series, the one thing that I hate the most is the minimap. So I'm really glad to see it coming back. But the next note is kind of interesting and weird to me.
Well, hold on. Go
ahead.
I think it's a big deal for multiplayer, but I wonder what that means for their BR as well. Because other BRs, if you shoot, you don't appear on the minimap. But on these games, you do.
Interesting.
So I have no idea how they're going to implement that into a BR.
If it worked exactly the same as multiplayer in a BR, where you show up unless you have a silencer, how would you feel about that?
I think it'd be a little too strong. It just enforces suppressors.
But what if there's no creative class?
Then it's fine. If there's no loadout system, then sure. It'll be just action-packed, fast-paced.
I think it depends exactly. I think I actually like that if there's no create a class, and I don't like it if there is a create a class. Because if there is a create a class, and you can make yourself not appear on the minimap if you just throw on an attachment, then like you said, You're basically just forcing everyone to use a silencer. Which is annoying because it's just less choice.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, if people don't have that option, then everyone appearing on the map means more gunfights, which is exactly what I want.
It means more fast-paced gameplay.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's interesting. That's good to know. Okay. Good points. Good points there. Good points. Even with the standard minimap back, there's also a compass. Okay. Anything on this, Lowcap?
Oh, I mean, there's always compasses in every BR. I mean, does that mean in multiplayer as well? Which I feel like
I think it does. Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of irrelevant, honestly. The maps are going to be probably pretty small.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, nice quality of life, I guess, if you like that.
Yeah. So I think you're right. I didn't think about this. For the BR, I think it's very good to have a compass. For multiplayer, if the standard minimap works, don't give me a compass. It's too much clutter. I don't need it. I never look at the compass anyway now in multiplayer, and it does kind of serve a purpose sometimes. I still choose not to look at it. There's too much going on. So don't have it in multiplayer, and you especially, it is totally superfluous if the standard minimap is back for multiplayer, because the compass will do literally nothing that the minimap won't do for multiplayer. But for Warzone, I think it's very good. But even if there is a compass and it's superfluous, not the end of the world. I just prefer it not be there. What else do we have here? Swimming mechanic returns. And there will be water in multiplayer maps alongside water in the new Warzone map. Lowcap, your thoughts?
Yeah, that's a weird one, because it all depends on how it's implemented. Because I assume in multiplayer it'll be like Black Ops 4, where I forgot what map it was. It was like
jungle flooded.
Ice with
icebreaker.
Yeah, right. And it's like there's that little area we can swim under the ship or whatever, and that's fine. It was fairly balanced. But in BRs, it matters so much. Like, can you shoot through the water? Can you shoot out of it? How fast can you swim through it?
So
all these things matter.
They all do matter. I'm going to give you my assumptions on how the water will function, and then I want your opinion. So in Black Ops 4, the way the water worked was you could shoot while you're in the water. You could ADS while you're in the water. You could reload while you're in the water. But obviously you can't sprint. You can't strafe while you're ADS'd. You can swim underwater, but you will start to drown. You stay under for too long, so you'll slowly take health, like being in gas. But the main disadvantage is you just move really fucking slowly. And obviously you can't crouch or prone. So if it functions that way, how would you feel about water in the Battle Royale?
If you can shoot out of it, it also depends on how clear the water is and whether you can see into it, the visibility.
Right. Yeah.
As long as there's no advantage to being in water, okay, fine.
Interesting. Interesting. My intuition on that is actually different. Based on the fact that you can't sprint or take cover in water, those are already massive disadvantages.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, being in water is a disadvantage.
So why would you be opposed to there being some advantage, such as you're maybe more difficult to see? You know what? I don't like that either.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like that either, dude. You're just underwater, no one sees you, and you just get fucking fragged. Yeah. Yeah, true. True. My opinion on this is water does not belong in first-person shooter games, period. Like Lowcap said, like, Icebreaker is a great map. I guess in Icebreaker, I kind of like the water because
it's not bad.
It allows for a convenient flank route, but you have to take the very big risk of going in water to get that flank off. The fuck? Fireworks.
And again, the implications for the BR is I read a leak that said there's going to be a big lake, and I assume there's going to be land or little islands within the lake. So if the circle ends there on that island, and you have to swim through water to reach there, I mean, I guess it's just fuck me. I guess I die. I just swim and die. Like,
right. And that is not great, obviously.
No, yeah, that's extremely annoying.
So I don't like. So water on a multiplayer map can be fine. I even think it can be kind of good. If you do jungle flooded ever again, I'm gonna kill myself in game, of course, by drowning myself in game and enjoying it in game because I'll want my life to end in game. But if you do it tastefully, like Icebreaker, that's fine. Water in a BR ever is bad. And the reason for that is that the where the circle ends is random. So sometimes the water, the whole fucking dumb lake that they put in this shit game,
Imagine it ends in the water.
will be the
up.
entirety of the last circle. The entirety. That'll happen many times a day to many poor, innocent people. And that is not fun or exciting.
Imagine if they had like boats and you're just going around just shooting people in the water. Literal fish in a barrel.
Yes.
God, dude.
Exactly. Exactly. That sounds fun if you're in the boat,
Yeah,
but not a good
boat.
game experience.
Yeah.
Not a good game experience. Yeah. True. Interesting. True. True. So obviously, there's a swimming mechanic as well. Unlimited sprint is back. There's still unlimited sprint in this game. I think this means that there's no tack sprint. So in this game, you can double tap and you can do your like super sprint.
You're always at max, yeah.
Yeah, no more of that. You're always just doing the regular sprint. That's fine. I like the tack sprint idea, actually, to be honest. I think that's one of the cool features of Modern Warfare. I'm a little sad to see it not returning, but it's also the smallest deal ever. Like, I'm fine without it. I think it's better to have than not have, but I don't think it's even close to necessary to have. And it's going to have very little impact on my enjoyment of the game. This one's interesting. No interact doors in regular. However, it will stay in Warzone. So interact doors means you can open and close doors and peek them like you can in Modern Warfare. Those are not going to exist in multiplayer in COD 2020, but they will exist in Warzone. Lowcap, your thoughts?
I actually do like that mechanic. I just don't enjoy that there are 60,000 doors throughout the map. It just depends on what the map looks like.
Interesting. Very interesting. I think we're both in the minority here. Everyone I ever hear fucking hates doors in this game. And I don't really get why exactly.
Because it helps campers.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does.
You can sit in a building, close the door, and don't loot any of the chests.
And you go behind the hinge.
And if you're, let's say there's a guy camping there, you close all the doors, didn't loot anything, and you're walking by, if you hear, oh, this building's clear, nobody looted it. Well, no, there's a guy camping in there and shits on you because he closed the doors.
Yeah. 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 True. True. And you can stand behind the hinge of the door. That's the worst part.
That too, yeah.
Like if the door is like close to the corner of a room. So let's say this is the room, right? And the door is right here and it swings open like fucking this way. This way. So the hinge is here. You can just camp here. Or no. Yeah, it opens here, so it swings this way. So the hinge is here. You can camp in this corner, and then when they open the door, you're in the corner and the door is like covering you, you know? And then they can just keep running past the door and you just fuck their ass. That's very annoying, for sure. So
it is, yeah.
With that said, I do like it because it gives you a lot of information and there's some counterplay. Like even if you're not camping that hard, you can go into a building and loot the fuck out of it and then just bounce. And then when someone else comes, they're going to see, oh, all the doors are blown the fuck open. So someone was here. That's cool information to have. And also, you can go in the building, close the door, and then people will think, oh, there's no one here. And then they run past you, but you were one shot anyway and you didn't want to die. And so you used your big brain and outplayed them. I think...
Or yeah, even if you getting shot from afar, you're running a building, close the doors.
Yeah, for cover.
Now you know if somebody busts in, if they're pushing you, you know.
Yeah, yeah, Yeah.
And from where? Because they bust open a door.
Yeah, you hear it. Yeah. So I actually do like the door mechanic. I'm surprised you do too, but we are definitely, by the way, in the very small minority here. I think
I like it. I think it's because most BRs have interactable doors.
Do they really?
Yes.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Locap plays a lot of BRs, by the way. I don't. This is my first one, really. So, interesting. Yeah, I think that's a good change, though. I think taking them out of multiplayer is good, too, because
yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
we don't need campers in multiplayer.
Yeah,
Fuck your doors.
you want that to be fast-paced.
And you don't want the information. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
you know, like you don't need to know whether someone's been in a building or not in multiplayer because everyone's already been in there and they're going to continue to go in there.
It doesn't even matter. If it's closed, you're just going to burst through it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah. So, agreed on that.
But this is one of those small things like a limited sprint where it's a small thing that helps fast-paced gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah. True. True. Jobless TV with the Submarino. Let's fucking go. Welcome, young man, young boy, to this small but vibrant and extremely humble community, sir. It's an honor and a privilege, of course, to have you here at the tail end of this episode of the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast. I appreciate it, dude. Sorry, shit, I misclicked, he said. Well, get scammed, bitch, because you're not getting a refund. He meant to report. I didn't show my nipples yet, did I?
No.
Don't report me.
You stood sideways, I guess.
True. This is possible. Yeah, this is a loose fitting tank, so I'm playing fast and loose with the rules here. So I just joined the fucking Discord. Hell yeah, 12th man. Welcome, dude. Welcome. All right, what else do we have here? Let's see.
Multiplayer maps.
10 multiplayer maps are apparently developed so far. More probably in the works. Treyarch style maps is what this says. One map is very small and a boat on the Black Sea. So that reminds me of Locap. One answer is the correct answer.
I don't remember the name of that map.
What is a small map that is on a boat in a Black Ops game called?
I don't remember the name of that map.
You discussed me. Hijacked is the name of the map.
Okay. Yeah.
So it gives me Hijacked vibes. And if any of you have played BO2, great map.
I do like that map. Yeah.
Great map. So that's interesting. And then another one is called Tank, which is the map that was shown in the leaked gameplay trailer earlier. I don't think we ever showed that on the pod. I'm not sure if it's still available, but it was terrible footage. It was like a cell phone recording of a cell phone recording. So it's almost not worth seeing. But that's the name of another map. So now, when I hear Treyarch style maps, I don't think Locap's going to really know what that means. But as far as I'm concerned, what that means is great maps, great style maps, 3-lane style maps. If I went through my top 10 Call of Duty maps of all time, probably 8 of them would be Treyarch maps. They have a lot of 3-lane maps, a lot of absolute bangers. All the classics you know and love are Treyarch maps. We're talking Standoff, Raid, Nuketown, Firing Range. These are all Treyarch maps. Absolute banger maps. So this is very good if they're Treyarch style, which makes sense because it's being developed by, of course, Treyarch.
How many maps were released with this game on launch?
I don't know, but it's not a good point of comparison because this game also had Ground War and 10s only maps.
Yeah, I'm just curious if 10 is normal. Is it above, below average?
I think 10 is about average. I'm not sure, though. That is actually a good question. But 10 strikes me as about average. Maybe a little less than average. But I'm not sure. It's a good question. So anyways, this is another point besides the mini-map that I was extremely excited to see. No specialists, but a field upgrade-like feature returning. Fuck yes. So, Locap, did you play BO4?
I did a little bit, yeah.
And then there were specialists. So for those of you who may be listening, specialist was the worst part of Black Ops 4. And what it was where you would pick a specialist and they had access to 2 unique abilities depending on which specialist you picked. So for example, if you picked Battery, that's a bad example. If you picked Prophet, one of your special unique abilities that only Prophet has is called a Seeker Drone. So you press a button and then it throws a Seeker Drone on the floor, and then it automatically finds an enemy and then it electrocutes them such that they cannot move at all for like 2 seconds or something. And then his ultimate ability, which took longer to charge, was called the Tempest. And it just gave you like this like energy cannon thing that would shoot slow traveling balls of lightning at enemies. Relatively slow, not super slow. And if it hit an enemy, the enemy would get downed, but they wouldn't be dead, but they would take like half their damage, and they just couldn't move. They're just writhing on the floor. And then if enemies are close to that person, they also get chain shocked. So if you turn a corner and 4 people are grouped together, you shoot your Tempest once, you'll shock one guy, it'll shock all 4 of them, and then if you shoot them all on the ground again, they'll all die. Very strong, and it was just another ability that only Prophet had. And there were a bunch of specialists that all did different things. They had 2 unique abilities. The problem with these was that they were extremely strong, as I just went over, and you didn't have to earn them. If you were doing well, you charged these abilities faster, but even if you're doing nothing, you will eventually get the abilities on a timer. So it'll take up to 5 minutes to get your Tempest, but if you're doing really well, you can cut that down to 2 minutes. So you can kind of earn it, but no matter what, you're gonna get it. This is similar to another somewhat popular game you guys may have heard of called Overwatch. Now, in Overwatch, these mechanics kind of make sense, where it is not a Call of fucking Duty game. But in Call of Duty, they didn't make any sense. So Tanner and I both universally fucking hated specialists. They've been in Black Ops games, Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, so I'm very thrilled that they're going to be gone for this game. I couldn't be happier, and this was by no means a foregone conclusion. So, Locap, how did you feel about specialists in BO4, and how do you feel about them being gone?
Well, I played a lot of Overwatch. You know, I had like 5 accounts in Grandmaster. So, like, I didn't have real strong feelings about it. I mean, I didn't like them or dislike them. I was ambivalent, really. They were just there, I guess. I didn't play Black Ops 4 or care enough to really have a strong opinion. But also, I do like it because it'll be nice to have another Call of Duty that's just straight up run and gun. You know, there's no gimmicks or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's how I feel, because and again, if you go to my YouTube, I have a 45-minute video on how bad Black Ops 4 was. At the end of the year, the game's life cycle, I did a 45-minute edited, by the way. This is an edited video that I trimmed all the fat out of, and it was 45 minutes long, talking about how bad Black Ops 4 is. And I spent no small amount of time specifically on specialists and how fucking dumb they were. You can be so much better than every other person on the enemy team, and eventually this fucking dickhead gets his battery war machine and just cross-map grenade launchers you, and you're dead. It is so anti-fun, anti-skill, especially because you don't have to earn it. So I'm thrilled beyond all measure that this is gone, and I really hope it stays fucking gone, and that this leak in particular is true. So that is going to be fantastic. Next point. You get 1 piece from equipment to choose from. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either, because isn't that how it is? You get 1 equipment?
I think this is just confirming that it's going to be just like most Call of Duties, where you get like a, whatever, stun grenade or attack deploy or a flash grenade or something like that. So good, fine. Score streaks will return.
Yeah. That I am actually really excited about. I like that a lot.
Tell us more.
I always preferred score streak. I thought it was the best addition to Call of Duty because you get rewarded for everything.
Exactly.
Everything you do helps you.
Exactly.
It's a fantastic idea.
Exactly.
And again, it's a small thing that helps people move fast. There's no reason to camp now.
True.
You want to go do things.
True. Preach, brother. Yes. Locap hits the nail on the head here, in my opinion. So, yeah. There's no score streaks in this game. So if you're playing Domination, for example, and you have 7 kills and you want your VTOL, there is no incentive for you to go cap B. and it is in fact a dumb idea to go Cap B. What you should instead do is camp and not move your character at all, because the only thing that's going to get you the VTOL is a kill. This is why score streaks are great, because score streaks reward kills, because you get score for them, obviously, but it also rewards assists. It also rewards capping objectives, defending objectives, getting tags, at playing the game.
Yeah, shooting down kill streaks.
Shooting down streaks, exactly. Playing the game, advancing your team toward a goal. No matter what the game mode is, score streaks are good. Even in TDM, score streaks are better, because then you get incentivized for assisting, and you're not going to get as pissed if your kill gets stolen. And again, you'll get incentivized for killing streaks in TDM. Otherwise, you wouldn't. So this is all good news. The only caveat is that I hope you don't get as much score for an assist as you do for a kill, like you did in Black Ops 4, because that made it way too easy to get all your score streaks without actually having to risk anything. That was dumb. But score streaks returning does not necessarily mean that. The World War II score streak system was perfect. They would loop, so you don't have to die to get streaks again. Assists gave you score, but they didn't give you full score as if you got the kill. Perfect. Doesn't make it too easy to get your streaks, but you still get rewarded even if your kill gets stolen. And it was score streaks, so you get rewarded for everything I just mentioned. So this is fantastic again. This note, however, is controversial, and I'm curious to see what people think. There is no dead silence in the game at this time. It is not a perk, and the leaker cannot confirm how footstep audio is at the moment. Locap, your thoughts. No dead silence.
I'm a fan of no dead silence. As the major BR player, hearing footsteps is a huge part of the game. It's major information, very important. And yeah, I think it's great. No dead silence is perfect. Especially, again, this is implications for the BR, no dead silence as well. Hopefully it's not on the ground either, because I don't like it as it is now, ground loot.
I think it's so dumb that it's a field upgrade in Warzone that you can just pick up. I think it's so stupid. Because yeah, like that's half of the game in Warzone is like listening for shit. So someone can just pop dead silence and come fucking destroy you. Like, it's kind of, I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, because everyone else you can hear, but this one guy that found the loot,
he just happened to get lucky. I know.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Exactly. So a lot of people do not like this, and it's mainly for multiplayer reasons. But my thing is, you guys have to put yourselves in any other Call of Duty game besides Modern Warfare. No other game has existed that has footsteps as loud as Modern Warfare 2019 Game of the Year Edition. The footsteps here are obnoxiously loud, and they have never been this loud in any Call of Duty ever. So like in Black Ops 4, I never ran dead silence. I never thought it was necessary. And for the most part, it never gave me away, really, that I know of. And I very seldom would hear people coming and then like know someone's there. It would happen sometimes. So dead silence was good for an enemy to have in a situation where I would have otherwise heard him. But in general, it wasn't as helpful as it is in this game where dead silence is insanely good. So having no dead silence for me is going to be contingent on whether or not, or contingent on how loud footsteps are by default. But I'm apathetic about no dead silence. I don't really care either way, but again, that's going to depend on how loud footsteps are by default. So that's going to be interesting. This is a big one, and here's where Tanner and I are going to disagree. Number one, everything I just said, Tanner agrees with, except the dead silence point. I don't remember what Tanner's opinion on dead silence is. Here's where I can give you Tanner's opinion, and it's going to be different than mine. But first, we're going to go to low cap. 150 health is going to be the health pool in this game. In Black Ops 4, the health pool was 150 health. In Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, the health pool is 100 health. And if you've played both games, that will be very obvious to you. The time to kill is a lot faster in MW than it is in BO4. So first, we'll start there. What are your thoughts, Locap?
Well, in multiplayer, I don't know. I don't have a super strong opinion. It's okay. I don't really don't mind it. But in terms of the BR, it's like they have to scale the guns time to kill because you have what 250 health now. You're gonna have 50 extra health, so 300 health.
Assuming armor is the same value.
Assuming, yeah. And then you're gonna have Cold War era guns, which you're not gonna have what 5 attachments like you do now because it's a different system. So assume gun recoil is gonna matter. So it's gonna be harder to hit targets. So what time to kill is what? It might balloon out of control.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's one of those weird things. Yeah, it just really depends how they implement it and what changes they make.
For sure. I think it's almost impossible to speculate how it's going to affect the BR because, yeah, who knows how much an armor plate. First of all, if there's armor plates, maybe they're going to go back to bandages. It is a Cold War era game.
Well, it says it has auto heal, which is the same as it is now.
Right, but auto heal here refers to multiplayer also. So
yeah,
they can
that
have
means
auto
only multiplayer.
Well, they can have auto heal in the BR and armor plates or not. Oh, they won't have bandages. That's your point.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah,
I see what you're saying. Okay. I see what you're saying. Interesting. Okay, so even if we assume there's going to be armor, we're not sure how much armor there's going to be. So I think it's hard to speculate on the BR point. But I see what you're saying. If the overall health will scale by plus 50%, including in the BR, then I think your concern is a point well taken, because in Warzone right now, time to kill is actually pretty fucking slow in Warzone. It's a lot of health. So I don't know if it's too slow. I wouldn't go that far, but it's
kind of in a weird spot. Yeah,
pretty slow. It's getting there. It's approaching too slow. If it's not there already. But so if they increase that any more, I think it would be too slow. But we'll see what they do with the armor and shit. But in multiplayer, I have conflicting opinions on 150 health. On the one hand, and I've talked about this a lot, the more health you have, the more aim matters, because you have to land more shots to kill someone. So if I have to only land 3 shots to kill you, then it's going to matter a lot more who sees the other person first, and it's going to matter a lot less who's the more accurate and who has the better movement. But if I need to hit you 6 times, well, if you surprise me and I'm way better than you, I'm going to hit you 6 times before you hit me 6 times, even if you saw me first, even if you got the first 2 bullets. So the higher the health pool and the slower the time to kill, the more outplay, counterplay potential there is, which means the higher the skill gap goes, the wider the skill gap becomes. And I'm always a big fan of first-person shooter games that reward players for being good at first-person shooting. Simple for me. Here's where it gets complicated. If you have 150 health, knifing, which is a one-hit kill, becomes incredibly fucking annoying and overpowered because someone can run at you for 45 yards while you're shooting them, not die, and then stab you and you're instantly dead. That's very annoying. Realistically, they can be corner camping in a building with a knife. You snap to them right away and start lasering them, but you're not going to have enough time before they knife you. That is very annoying part of having 150 health. Whereas if we mirrored the situation and he only had 100 health, he'd be dead. That is the part of 150 health that is bad. The other part is that it is virtually impossible to balance a sniper rifle. Because if a sniper is not a one-shot kill, don't use a sniper. They're terrible.
Yeah, that's useless. Yeah.
Exactly. But if it is a one-shot kill, then snipers are really fucking strong when the time to kill is forever. So it's very hard to balance snipers, and knives are impossible.
That has implications on BR as well. If it's a one-shot in multiplayer, that means it'll just 50% of your HP in BR. It's a lot.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that would. So exactly. So if the total health pool in the BR is increased by 50% also, then exactly, snipers are going to be insane in Warzone. because I'm going to still have to take an extra 50% of my time to kill you compared to Modern Warfare. But you're going to be able to just shit on me with like 2 sniper shots. So good point there. Good point. So that's why I'm saying it's complicated. Here's my opinion. Make it 125. That's perfect for me. As far as multiplayer goes, Warzone, probably keep the same total health pool as it is now in Modern Warfare. So you don't increase it by 25% for the next BR. But I think you can increase to 125 for multiplayer, and that's just about perfect. It still raises that, or it still widens that skill gap, but it makes it a lot easier to balance snipers, and it makes knives a lot less annoying, but still it makes sense to use them. I think 125 would be perfect. No COD game has ever done that, but that's what would be the ideal spot for me. Tanner's view on this is he doesn't care. So, of course.
Well, yeah, I agree. It's weird because like in Warzone as it is right now, how often do you get in like a straight up fair 1v1 versus you get shot from who knows where and you don't have an opportunity to shoot back because you're already taking damage? Because the time to kill is so high, like you can't fight back. You have to run and heal.
Yes.
So with even more health, that could be more exacerbated and it'd be just a frustrating experience unless they scale the time to kill with the health.
Yeah. Scale the time to kill. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's complicated. It just depends how they implement it.
Exactly. Exactly. It is complicated. It is very complicated. But that's my opinion on 150 health. Tanner's opinion is he doesn't care either way. He recognizes that they're different, but he's like, I'm fine with 100 health, and I'm also fine with 150 health. And he knows that he knows the drawbacks. He knows the pluses and cons, but he doesn't have a preference for either one. Which I guess is kind of my opinion too. I've said enough. It's complicated.
Yeah.
Next point here. Create a class is unique. It is a hybrid between Pick 10 and Classic, and there is no gunsmith. So, I've been trying to figure out what the fuck this means.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, Locap?
I have no idea. Besides, again, this is going to change the BR so much because right now you can slap on 5 attachments to help recoil. And in this one, you probably won't be able to. And it's going to change gunplay significantly.
If you have to do a Pick 10, it's like, okay, do I want that perk or do I want, a vertical foregrip? Yeah.
Yeah, do I want, what's it called? Overkill? Do I want an SMG? Do I want more attachments?
True. Or do I want Ghost?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All these things. Yeah. It's very big.
Yeah, it's very big. That's true. And that's assuming there is even going to be a create a class element for the BR.
Assuming, yeah, there's a loadout. Which, if it's going to be the same system, I would assume.
How was Blackout? I don't know how Blackout was. Do you remember?
There was no loadouts. Yeah, it was just ground loot.
Just ground loot. Okay.
Which I prefer. Well, there was like airdrops, I think, as well. Which had
you couldn't get perks though. Oh no, you could. You had to use them. I remember.
Yeah.
I hate that, by the way. You use a perk and you have it for 2 minutes. Suck my dick. Too much work. I don't like it. But as far as for multiplayer, I don't know what hybrid between Pick 10 and Classic means. What is a Classic create a class system? No wild cards?
I guess, yeah, like...
No.
What is Modern Warfare 4, the original one?
That's
like, I don't
exactly
remember.
what I'm trying to think of. This is why we need Tanner here. This is why we need Tanner here. Fuck me, dude.
Let's see, Modern Warfare.
Yeah, we're going to look into this. I'm going to catch up on chat here. Dirty, welcome. I'm back. Hell yeah, Dirty. Okay, dude. Okay. 2 gifty fucking boys. Co-Magi, Sir Drake Gaming. Welcome to this small but vibrant and extremely humble community. Dirty, also with the 1210 biddies. Damn, son, you're coming in hot, dude. Welcome back indeed. Co-Magi, Sir Drake, welcome to this small but vibrant and extremely humble community. And Dirty, for the 2 gifted subs for the 1210 biddies. I'm honored, humbled, and of course, privileged, sir. This is very kind of you. I appreciate the support as always, brother. It is very much appreciated, very much obliged, and welcome back, sir. I would hate to say you didn't miss much, but you did. But it's fine because it will be available wherever the fuck you listen to podcasts tomorrow. So thank you for the support, dude. I very much appreciate you, Dirty. We are looking up what the fuck a classic gunsmith create a class system even means. Low cap, any updates?
It looks a lot more bare bones than I remember it. That's actually crazy.
Post a link in.
I just watched the video.
Oh, you disgust me. Okay, describe it then.
They had 3 perks, and one of the perks was C4 or flashes.
Whoa.
And the other perks were like, whatever, ghost and steady and whatever. And then the primary weapon, you had 1 attachment.
And a sight, or just 1 attachment?
No, just 1 attachment.
Okay.
You had a sight, or you had a suppressor, or you had a grenade launcher, or you had an ACOG.
Got it. Okay.
That's a lot more bare bones than I remember it being. That's crazy.
So this not only doesn't help, but it actually makes me more confused. Because how do you have a hybrid between that and pick 10?
Yeah, I don't know. Pick 5? I don't know.
Exactly. It's like, what? What does that mean? What does that fucking mean? Okay, so I have no idea what a hybrid between pick 10 and classic means. No gunsmith. I do know what that means. There's no gunsmith. Tanner and I told you that there was going to be no gunsmith. So if you're surprised by this, you should have been listening to our podcast sooner, and you should have believed us, because of course there's not going to be a gunsmith. But on the pick 10 issue, if it's somewhat resembles pick 10, I like that, kind of. It allows for some cheesy bullshit, but at the same time, I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of everyone being able to have 5 attachments on all their guns. And I like being able to choose, would I rather have this perk or this extra attachment? I kind of like that. And another thing that is great about the pick 10 system that people do not think about is this. Do you enjoy playing shipment in Modern Warfare in this game? Where everyone spawns with a fucking 2 stun grenades and a frag every single time they spawn? I'm not the biggest fan of it. In a pick 10 system, that doesn't happen. Because one of your 10 points, if you want a fucking frag, you stupid bitch, is gonna be on that frag. So you can pick between your frag or a fucking lightweight perk. So there's a lot less equipment spam. And what does less equipment spam mean, low cap?
Less cancer.
And it means more. More.
Well, it means less claymores, for sure.
And which means more.
More run and gun.
Gunfights. More gunfights. Exactly.
Well, yeah, sure.
More gunfights. And we play first-person shooter games, contrary to Infinity Ward's opinion. We play first-person shooter games to use our characters to shoot at other characters. So the fewer nays and claymores and bouncing betties and C4s there are, the more gunfights there will be. And that does this function, once again, widens the skill gap. That's like the biggest reason I'm a big fan of the pick 10 system. But there are other advantages, and there are some disadvantages for sure. But I hope that it goes back to basically a regular pick 10 system. So,
yeah, I don't even know how I feel about it. I mean, for multiplayer, I think it's great. But again, for the VR, it's like the pick 10.
Okay.
I think it's great having that customization. You can do what you want. But again, for the BR, it depends how they implement certain attachments and stuff. Like the mini map, is suppressor necessary? Is ghost necessary?
Yeah.
How's the recoil on guns? Do you need a ton of attachments on them? Like, all that matters.
Yeah. True. Yeah, it's just hard to talk about the BR right now because we have so few details.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
But those are all interesting considerations for sure. I told you, Pritch, this was going to be a long one, you dumb bitch. So welcome back, by the way. This flies in the face of my prediction Now, I want to be clear. I don't totally believe it because Activision is still the god here, the big daddy upstairs. But nonetheless, quote, 6v6 is the standard player count, and there is no gunfight mode. So what that means, ostensibly, is that they're going to focus on sixes again. This flies in the face of what I was saying about COD 2020 like a week ago. But I hope it's true. And you guys will know why if you listen to that episode. I forget the name of the episode at this time, but it was very recently. It was last Saturday. So hopefully sixes goes back to being the standard thing. And that would be great, obviously. And the fact that they have all these maps done, and a lot of them, if they're geared towards sixes, it would make sense that sixes is obviously going to be the core of the game. There is no gunfight mode. Have you played gunfight before, Locap?
Yes, I have the Gremlin skin.
Oh, you do? That's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got it, right?
No.
Okay. Kill yourself. In-game. How do you like gunfight?
Not a huge fan. I don't mind if it's gone. I don't hate it, but I don't know. Who cares?
The thing for me, dude, is I really like gunfight in theory. And when I'm playing gunfight, I really like it. But it's nothing I'm ever going to play all day.
Yeah.
Like, I can play domination all day, and I've done it many times. Not in this shit game, of course, because sixes is terrible in this game. But in every other Call of Duty, I could play dom sixes all day, and it's fun. Gunfight, I just can't do it because there's no custom class. You can't grind anything, whatever. But I do really like the mode, but I'm with you. It's not going to be missed. But I also really like the gunfight tournaments, but that's a missed opportunity to go back to the Q&A question. Excellent question. Here's another missed opportunity for you. Just thought of it 4 weeks later. Not enough gunfight tournaments. I have so much fun in the gunfight tournaments in this game because there's actually something on the line. Like, dude, I want that fucking skin. Let's win this game. It's the last round. It's 5v5 in the finals. Let's fucking go. You don't get that. You don't even get that from Warzone Final Circle. The stakes are even higher than that. And it's as even as it can possibly get. Really fun dynamic, but only when there's something on the line. So that's the missed opportunity of IDub Modern Warfare 2019 Game of the Year Edition. Not enough gunfight tournaments. So, but yeah, I'm not terribly sad to
I like
see
the tournaments too. It's like the only competitive mode outside of tournaments, really.
Yeah.
And your average player can participate.
Yeah, and everyone, exactly. Yeah,
it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
The 6v6, I think I was in the middle of you and Tanner where you thought 10v10 would be the new standard, right?
For next year?
Yeah.
No. I thought Ground War would be the new Ground War and the BR.
I was in the middle. Whereas, like, I think 2020 Call of Duty will be the last test of 6v6 to see how well it does in the current market.
With skill-based matchmaking, which is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Skill-based matchmaking is definitely coming back. And it's going to be interesting to see. Good point you raised. I'm very curious to see how sixes will play on mostly good maps, which is what it's looking to shape up for, and with a standard mini map, and with a pick 10 system, so not everyone has a silencer. If you have all of those things, which is a recipe,
with, no gimmick, no specialist.
And with no specialist, excellent point. So all of that, which is all a recipe for a great, fun 6v6 experience. If you combine all those and then you add the pile of shit that is skill-based matchmaking, how popular will sixes be?
Yeah, that's what I think this COD is going to be the test.
That is such a good point, and it is the test, actually. It actually is the test. Because sixes in this game is polluted by skill-based matchmaking, for sure. But that's not the only... It may or may not be the only reason people don't play sixes, because the issue is compounded by the atrocious map design.
Yeah, the maps are shit, so...
And the lack of a traditional mini-map. And even if there was a traditional mini-map, most people had to have silencers anyway. So it is very interesting. Wow, that is such a good point. It is very interesting to see how the player base will respond to a great 6v6 experience plus skill-based matchmaking. So I think you're exactly right. It's going to be the last harbinger.
Yep.
Or the final test, the last stand for sixes being at the core of Call of Duty. Because if it doesn't do well with skill-based matchmaking, despite having all these advantages, then their only options are stop doing skill-based matchmaking or stop focusing on sixes. Guess which one they'll choose.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
and I think they will implement tens as well. Like maybe not a permanent playlist, but they'll probably throw it in there to test analytics as well.
I don't know if they would have enough maps to support tens though.
It depends on the map pool.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to depend on the map pool, but I wouldn't be surprised by it for sure. I wouldn't be surprised by it at all. Very good. Very interesting. Very fucking interesting. Okay, so let's move on here. There is apparently a mode in multiplayer that takes place on various sections of the new Warzone map. What does that sound like to you, Lookout?
I can't even make sense of that, honestly.
Oh, okay. So,
I don't get it.
Okay, so you know Promenade?
That's my cynical viewpoint, but I was like, there's no way they're gonna do that.
Okay, I'll rephrase. You know how every ground war map is a subset of the Warzone map?
Yeah.
I think that's what they mean. The only thing that is probably confusing you, which is confusing to me as well, is apparently a mode.
Yeah, it says a mode. Like it's its own playlist.
Which could describe ground war. Right?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
But why not phrase it that way?
Yeah, just ground war, yeah.
Like something similar to ground war is coming back, and it's going to be the same where they recycle content and call it new. Interesting, but do you think ground war would play substantially differently, assuming players have 150 health? By the way, real quick, can you imagine if there were still specialists and there was ground war? What a shit
fucking
game.
Disaster, dude.
All these batteries.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're running around and you get fucking
people.
nuked to 10 walls. Like, okay, cool.
By 64 people.
Fucking dog shit, dude.
Oh, that's so fucking funny. I'm so glad specialists aren't coming back, by the way. But anyways, okay. So thought experiment aside, please God, don't let that fucking alternate dimension happen.
I have no idea how ground would work in a fast-paced, no gimmick shooter.
Yeah, with 150 health too.
Yeah,
and the mini map
slamming into each other. Like I don't get it. Like,
yeah, dude.
And score streaks. So there's gonna be 1,000 streaks at once. Like,
True. Although with Kill Chain, there's a fuck ton of streaks now too. But yeah, that'll be interesting. I think it would be fine though. I think it would be maybe.
Oh, yeah. Let's hope no vehicles.
Let's hope no vehicles for sure. I think it's hard to say, honestly, because you're kind of right. Like, Ground War is a game mode independent of how mobile the game is in general. Ground War is the mode where you don't run and gun. So if you have a game that caters to running and gunning, but then you also have 32 enemies, you can't really run and gun well, you know? So how does that play? Is that going to be bad, or is it just going to be slower but still fine?
Or it's a complete shitfest where everyone's just running at each other.
True. It's going to depend partially on the map design too, for sure. Yeah. But that'll be interesting. And then the last point is the new Warzone map apparently takes place in Russia. Don't care.
Yeah, that doesn't matter at all. Yep. It's weird, again, like they want to make a whole new map instead of... They could do like an alteration of Verdansk where, because this is Cold War... Like
a 60s Verdansk?
Well, just make it... Yeah, exactly. Like maybe prison is under construction. Downtown is half as big as it is now. Ooh. No skyscrapers. Farmland has like 5 houses instead of 30 or whatever, you know? Like, all these little things they could do. Because, I mean, what's the...
Would you like that, though? Because I'm gonna take...
With additional changes, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna take the... I'm gonna role play as the average Reddit user on Call of Duty. oh my god, we want new maps. We don't want old recycled maps. Stop giving us really great maps that have been staples in the franchise for the last 12 years that are awesome and I can't keep doing the voice, but they're going to be pissed that there's recycled content.
There's always going to be recycled content.
Which I'm a fan of when it comes to multiplayer. The thing for me, though, is here's why I want a new map. This one fucking sucks.
Right, but that's the thing is like they implement a new map, and how long does this Call of Duty have left in its life? 4 months? And then
It might
everyone's
be
playing the new
delayed,
one?
dude. COD 2020 might be delayed, so who knows? Honestly.
That'd also be, I think, a terrible business decision. You miss out on the holiday sales? Like, that's terrible.
True.
That's so bad.
True. Yeah, so probably 4-5 months max. It'll come out before Christmas for sure.
And they haven't made any changes to the map yet, and you have 5 months left to do anything? Like, why would I play your map? I'm just going to go on the new map.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then that's pretty much it for the leaks. As always, this info is not fully confirmed as of now. So my overarching opinion on all of these things is 9.9 out of 10. The only thing, if I could get super nitpicky, is that I'd prefer 125 health to 150, but that is not a big deal. Every single other change here, or revelation, return to form would be more appropriate, is amazing to me. So the only bad thing that I know about Call of Duty 2020 is that skill-based matchmaking is going to continue, because that is an edict that is not from Infinity Ward, it is from Activision. So even though it's a new development team, it's Treyarch instead of Infinity Ward, it's still going to be published by Activision, so there's still going to be skill-based matchmaking. But as of now, that is the only bad thing that I know about COD 2020. So all things considered, pretty good, and there's a lot to be excited about here, in my opinion. From a BR player's perspective, what is your overall assessment of all of this?
It's a lot of it's up in the air. There's so many question marks, really. Like the suppressors and Ghost and what's lootable, like Dead Silence and all that.
If loadouts and how.
Loadouts, our buy station's back. Mm-hmm. How's the map look? How's the swimming mechanic going to work? How much water's on the map?
True.
All these things are just, it changes how the game plays. The guns, the attachment system, how much recoil there's going to be. Time to kill. Like, all this is up in the air. Like.
Yeah, I guess we kind of hit all the up in the air things. This is definitely a lot more edifying for the multiplayer enthusiast than it is for the BR enthusiast. For sure.
Multiplayer, I think it looks solid. It's going to be a fun, action-packed game.
Yeah.
Multiplayer-wise.
For sure. So yeah, for those of you who were looking for my assessment on these leaks, there you go. Fucking great. 10 out of 10. And if you followed me on Twitter, by the way, which I've conveniently linked for you in the chat, you would already know this, because I tweeted about this when it came out, and I was like, dude, these are great, and I can't wait to talk about them. So there you go. It's been talked about. So, Lowcap, you're going to go eat?
Correct.
How much time do you need?
Probably like 15.
Okay. We'll go right now.
Okay. Well, I just want to look. Dubfire said the same thing I said earlier, where it's two maps available in Selectical, like PUBG.
Real quick. Dubfire says, this game is going to be the hub for COD 2020. I'm going to call it right now. I think they'll make 2 maps available and selectable a la PUBG. So, Lowcap, you were saying.
Yeah, I brought that up earlier, and I think it's a bad business decision, because the COD cycle is one comes out, everyone plays the new one. Nobody plays the old one, it dies. And I don't see how a BR would change that. No one wants to play on the Warzone map they've been playing for 10 months.
Well, he's saying 2 maps. So, like...
But no one wants to play the old map when the new one's out.
Okay. Interesting. But why would that be a bad business decision in and of itself? Like, if they just go to this current executable and then everyone picks the new map.
Same client, I guess, it wouldn't be. But then it's also, how do they transfer skins and all that? Like, where does... Is all that gone?
the reason I don't think that's going to happen is because, like you were saying, low cap, there's going to be no overlap in files. The perks are different. The guns are different. The map is different. The operator skins are different. The animations are different. So why would they have it on the same client? Because none of it's going to be the same. Like, none of it's going to be the same. So I just don't see the reason why they would do that. Because in the case of PUBG, it's just two different maps, right?
Sure, yeah, it's all the same mechanics.
But everything's
and
the
guns
same.
and
The
everything.
loot is the same. The animations are the same. The engine is the same. The engine's, it's probably going to be based on the same engine. I don't know pretty much dick about engines. That's way too sophisticated for me. Go listen to a Console is a Computer episode if you want an in-depth look at my ignorance on computer shit in general. So I don't know if the engine's going to be the same or not, but it's definitely not going to be like, I don't know. There's going to be almost no overlap in terms of files, so I don't see why they would be on the same client. I mean, I think they're both going to be on Battle.net, so if you want to say they're on the same client in that way, sure, but Blackout, you have to go through BO4. Warzone, you have to go through MDub, and then whatever,
like
Blackfair, you're going to have to go through.
Cloptimus says in the chat, he says, I mean, after PUBG brought out their new map, I prayed for the OG one. And that's true, but it's because the mechanics were the same. You could just switch maps. So if the new map sucks, I don't want to play old Warzone and Campfest in downtown. I'm just going to stop playing the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't see that happening, Dub, honestly. Dubfire says, with crossplay, this player base is crazy big. True. True.
Yeah, true.
I think what's going to happen, like Lowcap said, is that they will continue to support Warzone, but they're also going to launch a new BR on a new client. And they'll keep supporting Warzone for as long as they keep getting microtransactions from Warzone, basically. And they will support it to whatever degree that they are getting income from it. And we talked about this when I was making my COD 2020 predictions. They'll put in money to what's getting them money. So when the new BR comes out and 95% of the players leave Warzone to go play that, then they'll still be getting 5% of the profit from Warzone. So Warzone will have 5% of the development resources that they have now. So the timetables will be 5% as fast as they are now for new content, for patches, etc. So I don't think it's going to go away, like they said, but they are very optimistic to say they're going to keep supporting it and like it's going to be the BR for years to come, assuming that they also release a new BR. Because if they do release a new BR, no one's going to keep playing fucking Warzone. Virtually no one. Tanner Dropshot, welcome.
Well, also, I mean, too, is like, in terms of bad business decision, it's your purchases in one game won't transfer to the other. So if you buy, let's say you buy like, I don't know, it's a forest map, you buy a ghillie suit.
Yeah.
And it doesn't transfer to the other map, you're not going to want to play it because you spent money for this map.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I think even referring to them as playing one map or another is a confused way to frame this. They are two different maps, but more poignantly, they're two different games. I mean,
different games.
So calling them two maps is, I think, to confuse what is going to happen, because they will be two different maps, in the same way that the fucking Fortnite map is different than Hijacked. Yeah, they're two different maps. They're also two different fucking games. So to say that I'm going to launch the Hijacked, or to say that I'm going to launch Verdansk versus launching whatever the Fortnite map is called, it's like, it's technically correct, but it's a confusion. It's a poor way to frame the distinction, in my view.
Because you're not going to transfer blueprints or anything else, skins. None of that's going to transfer because there's different guns too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see how they're going to keep making money on Warzone.
Some people will stick around
Yeah, some will for sure.
But it's just going to be so few. So few.
Yeah. I don't see it staying alive past a year, maybe. If I'm being generous.
As soon as, if there is in fact going to be a new Call of Duty Battle Royale, as soon as it comes out, to be generous or conservative, 95% of the player base is gone from Warzone forever.
Yeah.
At the very minimum, 95% of them are gone. So, I mean, again, it all depends on how much money they'll make off those 5% of people. But, you know, they're going to get way fewer resources. There's going to be way fewer updates. You know, just like
yeah,
fucking.
That's the bad. That's the bad news now. Because look at the map updates now. What have we gotten?
Yeah, for real.
So what are they going to do later? You know?
Yeah, it's going to be awful for sure. And look at fucking Black Ops 4. When's the last time Blackout got an update, guys? Anyone?
Yeah.
Anyone? Yeah, I don't remember either. Because they don't. Because it doesn't make them money anymore. They still have the servers. Like, you can still go queue for Blackout, but no one's fucking playing it. The same thing is going to happen for Warzone, in my view. Dubfire says, honestly, you may need to prepare yourselves for Black Ops entering the world of MDub or like absorbing it. I know this is a shit game, but it's pretty much the most popular modern warfare to date. That is true, and only true because of this is the first time they've ever done a free-to-play battle royale. Dub. But you might be right. They might not understand the nuance, and they may think that this is a good game because it's so popular. And they might not realize that it's so popular because it's fucking free. I wouldn't put it past Activision. The fact that they released skill-based matchmaking signals to me that they are incapable of understanding nuance often. So keep that.
Yeah, I don't see how it can be absorbed. There's so many, like what's been leaked, there's so many mechanical changes that can't just be absorbed one-to-one.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like, no gunsmith. Pick 10 is back. 150 health. Like, score streaks are back.
I mean, just the guns are all going to be completely different.
Different era, yeah. I don't know. We'll see, Dubfire. I just don't know what that would even mean.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But anything else to add, Locap?
We'll see. Nope.
Okay. So you're going to go eat?
I will.
Okay. So we're going to continue the pod without Locap. Once he's done eating, then we're going to go over to his channel and fucking game. So get the fuck off and go eat, Locap, and say goodbye to everyone. And thank you for guest hosting this evening.
Goodbye, chat. Goodbye, listeners. And thank you for having me.
Where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Lokeepo.
How would they spell that? Because I don't know what that means.
Lokeepo.
Okay.
And on Twitch, you can find me. I stream, especially after the podcast on nights, at twitch.tv/locap. No underscore, nothing else, just locap.
L-O-K-A-P.
Yeah.
Right. And for those of you who ever watch Tanner's streams, once again, you may recognize his voice. We play with him a lot, all the time. He's very good player. Yeah, he's going to start streaming more. I told him to get his fucking webcam set up. And he's gotten some riding gloves to firmly grasp the coattails of the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast.
Okay.
So you're welcome, Locap. Get the fuck off my podcast. Go eat dinner. And I'm gonna finish things up here.
With pleasure.
Okay.
All right, I'll be back.
All right. Let's see. Let me catch up on chat here. After PUBG brought out their new map, I prayed for the OG one. Hi, Tanner. I'm grinding for OBE NV tips. I don't know what that means, Faust. Tanner had a ribeye, potato, and veggies. Okay. Potato's a vegetable, by the way. Let's see. Read a book. Yeah, a lot of people think that this BR, if there's a new BR, guys, it's going to be a new BR. It's not going to be Warzone. Like, they're either going to continue doing Warzone or they're not. I don't even know what this middle ground hybrid looks like that you guys are trying to tell me. It is unclear. What specifically do you mean? From all of these leaks that we've gone over, that there's a new Warzone map, that there's fucking 150 health now, pick 10, all these changes. Given all of that, they're adding a swimming mechanic. Given all of these things, what is this hybrid map or BR? What does that even? I'm not trying to be an asshole. I don't know what it means. So tell me in detail. The new Warzone map comes out, or the new BR map comes out. Are the perks the same? Are they different? In what way is it related to Warzone? Because if your assertion is it's going to be a totally different game with totally different perks, except it's going to be launched from the Warzone client, okay, maybe. I doubt it, but maybe. But even if it is, hardly a hybrid. I mean, because it's a totally different game. If the perks are different, the weapons are different, the animations are different, the health total's different, the operators are different, the operator skins are different, none of the cosmetics are transferable between games. So what does it mean? That's what I'm asking for. Shit game, great podcast. Thank you, Shocky. Dub says, I'm just seeing games like Destiny, GTA 5 continuing to advance the game and content on central type of platform. This M-Dubs feels like it could be the vehicle for all the future content for 2 more years. Okay, Dub. That might be true, but once again, I don't know what that means. Like, specifically, I don't know what that means. I just don't. I don't know what that means. Lowcat needs to stay humble before he goes. True, actually. Yeah, true. Maybe I'll save that honor for Tanner. I'm going to stay live until, what's it called? He's back, because I want to get a couple games in, so. He's average at best. Damn, Tanner. Shit on. We miss Tanner. Tanner, do you want to call in? If you have Discord on your phone, we can send this podcast out like the good old days. Hop in the channel, and then I can do a nice little sign off. We miss Tanner. The shield will be Kevlar, Obsidian. All those leaks point to a Treyarch standalone release. It's pretty vague, I know. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could be right, Dub. I just don't know what you mean. That's all I'm saying. It's like, I'm not trying to shit on you. It's just like, I don't know what exactly any of that means. So if I knew what it meant more clearly, then I could like assess how likely it is. Yeah, but you got to wait for low cap. I'll wait for low cap. Download Discord on your phone and get in Discord so that we can talk a little bit. You stupid bitch. Because I actually do want to get your thoughts a little more on some of these things. I have questions for you. You don't need resources. Just call now. Just call now. How about that? Or join, whatever. Join the fucking Discord. Pritch, I did not. Pritch, what your Patreon suggestion is for an entire episode. So we are going to do a Patreon only episode, an entire episode on your topic. That is the point of those submissions. You suggest an episode idea, not just like a little segment. So we're going to do a whole episode on what your topic was. We think it's good, so we're going to do it. So you'll see what we mean more when we do it, Pritch. But yeah, it's not just going to be like 10 minutes or whatever. It's going to be a whole ass episode. So figure it out, bro. Shocky, what's up, dude? Welcome back. I'm not a big fan of Treyarch's style, says Dubfire. I'm kind of hoping we just get the Black Ops game in the Infinity Ward style and feel. I'm not sure what you mean by Treyarch style, Dub. We have talked about Treyarch versus Infinity Ward, actually. And you can get our opinions on that in detail at my YouTube. If you go to the Dropshot clips, one of them pretty recently is Infinity Ward versus Treyarch, which is better. You can get our assessment of that. In general, we both like Treyarch better, but there are definitely Infinity Ward. I do like the Infinity Ward aesthetic way better. I do like the gunplay a lot better. But almost everything else I like Treyarch better for, in my opinion. So, but I mean, look, gunfights, very important part of a first-person shooter. So Infinity Ward doesn't get most things right in our opinion, but the thing it does get right, gunfights, very important, very important. I also think weapon balance in general is way better in Infinity Ward games. I can think of so many really OP guns in BO4 that just don't exist to the degree that they do in that game. I can think of so many BO4 weapons that are so much more overpowered in that game than any weapons are overpowered in this game. And I feel like that's always been the case. Like Treyarch has always had dumb guns. And like operator fucking op mods in Treyarch games. Like the bolt cylinder outlaw was so dumb. So I feel like Infinity Ward does that too. Gunplay is better, and what's it called? Gun balance is better. And they're better at nerfing weapons, by the way. Yeah, what's up, Tanner?
Oh, you can hear me, really?
Yeah, of course I can hear you, you dumb bitch.
That's weird. It's not lighting up on Discord. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. You're good.
How's it going?
Good. How's the vacation life? So Tanner is calling in live. He was absent for most of the pod, but he's phoning in from Tanner. Where the fuck are you?
Monterey, California.
Monterey, California. And what the fuck are you doing there?
Well, I'm currently sitting on a balcony of a hotel overlooking the view, which just so happens to be an actual cemetery about 100 feet away. So
that's pretty.
It's probably why the room was. It's probably why the room was so cheap, huh?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. How's the trip?
Cue air horn.
So
Cue
far?
the air horn.
Okay,
Cue the air horn.
Oh shit! Wrong one. Okay.
Fantastic. Good. It was just driving all day. Yeah, just driving all day.
How long's the drive up there?
It's about 6 or 7 hours because we had to stop at a bunch of different areas, scope out potential photo spots for my wife.
Did you guys pick up a spotter scope?
I would have hit that button if I were home. So yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. How much of the pod did you catch?
I only heard like the first 15 minutes, and I had to go to dinner.
Okay, so we had a couple questions. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Okay. So we were going over the COD 2020 leaks, and one of them says, first of all, 150 health. How do you feel about that?
We already talked about it. I thought it's fine. I thought it's perfect.
Okay, well, you didn't talk to the fucking podcast about it, so give me your opinion.
I think it's good. I think I think it's perfect for a Treyarch game, essentially. I think the way their games play, I think 150, what did you say? You said 125, right?
That was my ideal, yes.
Yeah, I think 150 is okay. Maybe 125 would be more ideal, but I'm perfectly fine with 150, and if that's true, then I'm very happy with that.
Interesting. Yeah. That was about what I remembered you saying.
Yeah.
It's actually a good point about the Treyarch thing too, because when you have like a faster sprint out and like more run and gun, it does make a lot more sense to have a bigger health pool to compensate for that.
Yeah, it's a quicker game overall. The movement's faster, so it makes sense.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Would you prefer 150 to 100 then?
In a Black Ops game, yes.
Okay. And you're not concerned about snipers and knives being OP very much?
I mean, I don't care because I'm still better than them and I'll shit on them either way. So don't really care.
That's exactly what I told the stream. I was like, he knows, but he just doesn't really care. That's funny. Okay.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
So here's our next question. So one of the leaks, I'm going to read this to you as a quote. I want you to tell me what the fuck this means. Quote, create a class is unique. It is a hybrid between Pick 10 and Classic. End quote. What does that mean?
What the fuck? What does that even mean?
Okay, great.
Genuinely, what does that mean?
So
It's a
Locap and
hybrid.
hybrid between Pick 10 and Classic. Create a class.
Pick 15.
So yeah,
I don't know.
What was the create a class system in COD 4?
You picked a. Well, there wasn't much. It was like the gun. You chose like the gun and if you wanted an optic or not. That's it. And then it was all perks. You got 3 perks, and then a lethal, and yeah, there wasn't. Unless I'm remembering something wrong, all you did was choose the optic, I think. God, it's been so long.
Yeah.
No, well, not totally, because you could put like a suppressor on it and stuff. I don't know. There wasn't much customization at all, though.
So you have
You
no
could put
idea what this could
suppressors
mean?
and scopes.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, of course. Nobody has any idea what that means. Who's that leak from?
This is notes based on the now unavailable exclusive Ace video on the COD 2020 leaks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Maybe what this could, Locap and I had no idea, but now I'm thinking maybe it could mean what's it called? Pick 10, but you automatically get 3 perks.
That'd be really good.
That would be interesting, right? So
Well, that would give you a ton of options. You could do primary,
so you could
secondary,
still do,
fully kitted primary.
Yeah. So you could still do wild card to have 2 perk 1s, but you're always going to have 1 perk 2 and 1 perk 3 minimum. Maybe.
That would be good, actually.
That's my only theory on what hybrid between Pick 10 and Classic means. Because the only difference between Classic and Pick 10 is that Classic forces you to have 3 perks. Pick 10 doesn't.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like about like Pick 10 and whatnot was how there was attachments that would take up like 2 slots and things like that. You know, I would rather it just be like everything counts as 1.
Instead of the wild cards, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I feel like the wild cards, I don't know. I'd have to think about that a little more.
Yeah, you think about that.
But you might be right. You might be right. What else was I gonna ask you about?
So you're telling me Locap left the pod to go eat?
Yeah, before he starts his stream.
Wow, he didn't get the memo to eat beforehand and then just starve till it's over.
Yeah. Well, he's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot.
Razinon sus in the chat, please.
Razinon sus is in the chat. Yeah, absolute Razinon sus.
Well, I'm still here, you stupid bitch. I'm just eating.
Oh,
Son
welcome
of a
back.
bitch.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Shit.
Dude, Tanner, did you watch the exclusive Ace video on all the weapon changes?
I skimmed through it, yeah.
Did you see how the MP5 got buffed, not nerfed?
For the range you're talking about, right?
The 10 mil in general and the recoil.
Yes.
Go rewatch it, dude. It's outrageous. It's outrageous what they did.
Crazy.
It's outrageous what they did.
Well, they didn't buff everything. There were still things they nerfed with the 10 mil.
They nerfed one thing, which was its damage ranges by like 4 meters. Except it still does more damage 25 meters plus with 10 mil than it used to. But every other damage range got nerfed. Yeah, it makes no sense. Welcome to Infinity Ward.
Well, because I heard all the CDL kiddies are already running Uzis and stuff and practicing with those.
Interesting. I don't know.
It could have just been because it's still fresh and they actually believe the patch notes for some reason.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. They made the mistake of believing patch notes, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Locap, what's your ETA, brother?
Nearly done.
Okay, so Tanner, stay on the line because we're gonna finish up in like 2 minutes, and then you're gonna send us off.
Okay.
So, I was gonna go over a couple leaked cosmetic packs that are coming. It's not very important. There's just some new cosmetics that are not yet announced that our friend Young Douglas has leaked. They look cool in varying degrees.
Is it the 4th of July one?
One of them is the 4th of July one.
That one's dope. That looks. I actually may buy that.
Razinon sus.
Come on, dude.
A couple I did want to go over though.
God bless America. Come on.
America. Fuck yeah. One of them that I found, so to show what Tanner's talking about, you can see here. Here's the 4th of July pack. It's not out yet, but it's in the files. It looks like this. It's very K-Kona. Can I get some K-Konas in the chat?
You're all
this
about
one?
the K-Kona today.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw you.
Syrian.
I saw you hit Syrian with the K-Kona. Yeah.
I had to hit him with the K-Kona. Fucking foreigner.
Yeah.
He's Australian, by the way. He's a white male, so don't cancel me. And then what else did I want to go over? This one, I think. This one I found.
Because I was wondering why they came out with the Canadian one and not an American one. It's July 4th.
Oh, yeah. Happy Canada Day, by the way, Canix. This one's funny. CDL Champs 2020 pack. It's not out yet, but it's leaked. Fucking dumb shit here. I mean,
Yeah,
there's like a Super Bowl looking ring, a charm for CDL 2020 Champs. I feel like they shouldn't sell this. This should be like a cool cosmetic for the actual winners. But now everyone's just going to have their jerseys and these dumb weapon charms. Nothing important here. Just thought it was funny, so I thought I would show it to you guys. This one is actually... Go ahead, Tanner.
They need to have sticker packs like in CSGO where they actually like have value to them. But there's no aftermarket store, so it wouldn't work. But it would be cool if there were like more rare stickers.
There's no trading, so...
Yeah, rare shit in general. That would be actually really cool.
There's
Doesn't make much
though.
sense for a game with a 6-month life cycle, though, like you said.
Yeah.
So, here's another leak courtesy of our friend Young Douglas. You can find him at the links I've provided in the chat at Modern Warzone on Twitter. Sergeant Frank Woods from Black Ops is 100% coming to MW in Warzone. So he's going to be the next operator. This is in the files as well. So for you lore nerds out there, that will be coming.
Interesting.
Yeah, pretty crazy. And then lastly here, all the Call of Duties that are on Steam, which is most of them, are on sale right now. Pretty big fucking sales, by the way. Tanner, are you listening, bitch?
Yeah.
World War II, 67% off, from $60 to $20.
Not buying it. Still shit.
Okay.
Next.
Okay. BO3 is $36, which is way older than World War II, by the way.
It's actually hilarious.
So dumb. What else do we have here? World at War is $10. Infinite Warfare, $20. Ghosts, $20. BO2, $30. Makes no sense.
Why do their games never go down in price? Like, if it was any other developer, those games would be $5 on
Because
Steam.
they think they're worth something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Laugh track. Insert laugh track.
Okay.
There we go.
So anyway, you guys can go check these out for yourselves. It's on Steam until July 9th. These things are on sale. Locap, have you started your stream yet?
No, I'm updating my game.
Oh my god. This guy does update his
Start
game.
your stream right now so I can raid you because I'm about to end the stream right now.
Okay.
Locap genuinely updates his game more than anyone I know.
Yeah. So
Well, it's not my fault. I don't push these.
I told you to update it at the beginning of the podcast, right? Locap?
I'll recall.
They put out
Okay.
a pod during the pod, or they put out an update during the pod. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's why I told him. Because I just had
During
my
the
Battle.net
pod.
open. Yes, I did it.
Oh, okay.
I did it.
Well, you said before, so.
I said at the beginning.
So did you tell the chat the shoot house and shipment thing?
That it's back?
No, the new playlist update they put out during your pod.
No. Wait, what new playlist during the pod?
They changed it. So now it's 5v5 shipment 24/7 and there's a separate 8v8 shoot house 24/7.
What? Really?
It's 8 versus 8, though.
This is what you could have said breaking news for, by the way.
I literally sent an Instagram like 2 hours ago.
Didn't read it.
I added you. I said I actually said the words breaking news. I said breaking news, and then I posted that screenshot.
You have to say it in Discord or in Twitch chat. Otherwise, I won't read it. I don't look at my phone. I'm a professional.
Well, insert buzzer.
I'm a professional. So
Okay.
Anyways, so we're gonna shore this up here. Shout out to Jake, aka Mr. Salmonella, and our newest Damascus patron, JPritch6, for being Damascus patrons.
Yeah, Pritch. Heard you join today. Appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, we do appreciate it. Salmonella got scammed last month, but
Get shit on.
But Salmonella, hopefully we can make it up to you this week, or this month rather. Jay Pritch, thank you for joining the Damascus patrons. And if you guys wanted to join the fucking Patreon, there's the link for it, patreon.com/thedropshot. We have a $5, $10, and $20 tier. Every tier will provide you with 2 bonus episodes of the pod per month, exclusive to Patreon. But the free content will remain exactly the same as it has up until this point. So fret not if you are being thrifty during these troubling times. I understand. But if you want some extra shit, including bonus episodes, you can join the Patreon. And yeah, Jake, Salmonella, and Jay Pritch, thank you, boys, for being the first 2 Damascus patrons.
Appreciate it, gentlemen.
Friendly reminder. One of you has linked your Patreon to your Discord account. One of you has not. So you need to make sure that those are linked, because I have a bunch of Patreon exclusive channels depending on what tier you are. And if you're Damascus, you get access to all of them. And then you could submit, episode suggestions for Patreon days or for Saturdays, which everyone will see, and gameplay breakdowns. And then you get access to the Damascus Hangout channel that we're going to be doing once a month. So thank you again. Make sure you link those, join the fucking Discord. And that is going to be it. We are going to go play some Warzone with Lokipo. Thank you for staying with me on this very long ride. I told you this was going to be a thick boy, so thanks for being away, Tanner, you stupid bitch.
Yeah.
Special thanks to Locap for subbing in today. He did an excellent job. Raised some great points. And we're going to go game with him now. So thank you all for watching. Have an excellent evening. And as always, remember, stay humble.
Stay humble.